following is a presentation of Baldwin Sports Live, your home for live coverage of the Baldwin Bulldogs. Baldwin Sports Live is presented by Hayden Outdoors Real Estate, the brand that sells the land. Learn more at haydenoutdoors.com. Also brought to you by Farm Bureau Financial Services, Kelly Neufeld, Baldwin State Bank, Codiano State Farm Insurance, Heartland Plumbing, Lamb Roberts Price Funeral Home, One Choice Heating and Air Conditioning, Trindle Lumber Company, Oral Surgery Kansas, Hers Incorporated, Rice Precision Manufacturing, The Bullpen, Baldwin City Recreation Commission, New Frontier Tax and Business Services, the Lumberyard Arts Center, Jobats, Baldwin City Community Newspaper, and by the Baldwin City Chamber of Commerce. This is Baldwin Sports Live.
Good evening and welcome from Liston Stadium in Baldwin City, Kansas. Along with my partner Bryce Kessler, I'm Ryan Hilmer, and tonight the regular season wraps up as your 3-4 Baldwin Bulldogs will play host to the undefeated 7-0 Wellsville Eagles. Welcome everyone to the Baldwin State Bank pregame show. It is senior night and a must-win situation for the Bulldogs in terms of their playoff hopes. They must win tonight and also hope for a little help elsewhere. We can get into some of those scenarios later, but the first thing is first. The Dogs need a big win tonight against a very tough and athletic football team in the Wellsville Eagles. Wellsville is a very balanced and talented team, can spread the ball around to multiple weapons on offense. Defensively, they force a ton of turnovers, so a steep mountain to climb tonight for Baldwin, but one they must ascend in order to keep their playoff hopes alive. Just getting started here on the Baldwin State Bank pregame show. Next, we'll take a look back at the ups and downs of this 2022 high school football season and dive into some of the key players and matchups to keep an eye on tonight. Bryce will also bring you your State Farm Insurance game plan and more. It's all coming up right here on Baldwin Sports Live, presented by Hayden Outdoors.
At Baldwin State Bank, we love being part of the community we serve. Our roots run deep in Baldwin City, and our commitment runs deeper. Whether it's that dream house you can't wait to call home, or the trust of your personal finances, both present and future, we're here to serve you, our customers, our neighbors. Baldwin State Bank, proud supporter of the Baldwin Bulldogs for more than 100 years and counting. Come see us downtown or online at baldwinstatebank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hayden Outdoors Real Estate has proudly been serving the Midwest since 1976, covering 29 states and over $1.3 billion in annual sales. Chad and Penny Sheldon are some of the top producing brokers from Baldwin City, Kansas, selling farms, ranches, rural homes, and recreational real estate throughout Kansas. Their knowledge, passion, and expertise will help make your next real estate transaction an excellent experience. Contact Chad or Penny today by phone at 785-821-2666 or by email at shad@haydenoutdoors.com.
Trindle Lumber Company is the go-to stop for every do-it-yourselfer and professional contractor. They carry a wide variety of plumbing, electrical, and hardware products, along with a vast selection of windows, doors, and paint. Their full-service drive-through lumberyard has what you need for every project and offers free estimates and professional delivery. At Trindle Lumber Company, you get the right products with the best service. Stop by at 1516 South Main in Ottawa or call 785-242-8144.
Welcome back here on the Baldwin State Bank pregame show. The pregame show is presented by Baldwin State Bank, personal service from people who care. That's what you get at your hometown community bank. Baldwin State Bank, whether it's personal finances, business money management, loans and credit, or savings for retirement, go see Baldwin State Bank. For over 120 years, they've helped serve our community. Enjoy a better banking experience with your friends and neighbors at the Baldwin State Bank. All right, getting you all set here tonight for Baldwin and Wellsville. Let's take a little bit of a look back now at some of the results for Baldwin up to this point. It's been a up and down season for them. Started out down, 3 straight losses. They rattled off 3 straight wins, Bryce, and then a loss last week at Bishop Ward, put a little hamper into things, but back at it tonight against a good Wellsville team.
Yeah, tough loss last week, 26-6. I don't think it tells the whole story when you just see that final score. I think it was a closer game than that, but some big plays allowed by Baldwin. They gave up a season-high 521 yards defensively in that game and touchdowns of 59, 72, and 84 yards, so some big plays for Bishop Ward. The box score's kind of funny when you look at Baldwin ran 19 more plays than Bishop Ward and had 12 minutes more time of possession, but they turned it over 3 times, and that is the great equalizer, those turnovers. And so even though Baldwin moved the ball well in that game, and for a lot of the portion of the game, they defended well, but they gave up some big plays. They turned it over too many times, and it was a critical loss because of that. So puts a lot of pressure on this one here tonight, and season's not over certainly, and win-loss doesn't matter tonight. We'll still play next week, but you'd love for that Week 9 game to be a first-round playoff game as opposed to just that Week 9 game. And so that's what's at stake here tonight. But, boy, is it going to be a tough one, Ryan, because you get a 7-0 undefeated Wellsville team coming in tonight.
Yeah, they are a good football team, as we mentioned. I agree with you. That Bishop Ward game, the score doesn't really tell the whole story. Those 3 interceptions and all the turnovers, they really killed Baldwin in the end. Take a look now at the results for Wellsville, and they've been a wagon this year. As you can see, 7-0, as Bryce just mentioned. Admittedly, haven't played the toughest schedule, but, like we were talking before we went on air, if you just play the opponents in front of you, and if they're inferior opponents and you beat them up, then, that's what it is.
Yeah, 2 teams on there with a winning record, Burlington and Bishop Ward, who are both 5-2, and you can see Wellsville handled both of them, and it wasn't, they were closer games, certainly, but it wasn't like it came down to a last-second type of a lucky break or anything. They were still a game that was won, I would say, comfortably by Wellsville. So they're a good program here. 7-0. Last year they went 10-1. They're kind of on a little historic run right now after that 10-1 season last year that started 10-0, made their deepest run of the playoffs since a quarterfinal loss back in 2016. And so you look at this, they're sitting here at 17-1 now over the last 2 seasons, and this is a program that's certainly on the rise under Mike Berg, who, of course, the Baldwin fans know very well, former head coach here at Baldwin for 19 seasons. He was a long-time Bulldog head coach down the road now, and he's got this Wellsville program humming right now in a 7-0 mark. They are looking to finish off another undefeated regular season, and this is just they're on a roll right now, but no better time if you're Baldwin to come up and kind of bite them here.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a series renewed too. It used to be a big time rivalry. First time these 2 teams are meeting since 2013, and Baldwin has actually won the last 7 games dating back all the way to 1998. So Baldwin.
And hopefully a chance now, because Wellsville has moved back up to 3A, Baldwin has moved back down to 3A over the last couple of years. Hopefully we'll get a chance to renew this rivalry and get to see it continue, because you mentioned it's been the first time since 13, but it's almost dead even. You go back to 1984, and it is dead even. 11 wins apiece since crazy. 1984 in this series, and not only the wins, but nearly identical scoring. Wellsville in those 22 games has outscored Baldwin by just 4 total points. The rivalry was a really good one, and hopefully tonight is the first chapter in the new edition of this rivalry, and we're looking forward to the ball game tonight.
I'm with you 100%. Take a look now at the district standings. You can see up on your screen, and we've mentioned it. Baldwin pretty much a must-win tonight. There are some other scenarios if Osawatomie can get the best of Bishop Ward a little bit, but Baldwin's going to have to win tonight, and they're probably going to have to win big.
Well, yeah, they have to win. Even if Bishop Ward would lose, Baldwin still would have to win this game. It then just becomes a matter of by how many points and those kind of things. That's the simplest way to get to the playoffs. Baldwin win, Bishop Ward lose, and Baldwin's in. In fact, Baldwin will be the 1 seed, then Wellsville will drop to the 2. Let's call it what it is here. Bishop Ward not likely to lose tonight at home against a winless Osawatomie team. Stranger things have happened, but you have to think that Bishop Ward is going to win tonight and probably win handedly, which means Baldwin not only needs to win, but Baldwin needs to come out here and win by a pretty decent margin. So we'll see how the night plays out. We'll keep an eye on that Bishop Ward Osawatomie score and see if we can see as the night goes on and dive a little bit more into those playoff scenarios. But the truth of the matter is, it's a big-time game, and I think Baldwin, honestly, regardless of what night looks like at the end as far as did you sneak into the playoffs by enough on the points and this and that, if they come out and win this game, even if they still finish 3rd in the district because of the 3-way tie and the points don't work their way, you got to be ecstatic.
Yeah, that's a great win.
It's a great win, and it's over a program that's somewhat of a renewed rivalry, but even on the football field. But across the board, they still participate against these Wellsville teams and other sports. So big game tonight, and certainly one that will be a memorable one if Baldwin can pull off the victory, regardless of where the points fall after that.
Absolutely. We're just getting started here on the Baldwin State Bank pregame show. When we come back, we'll take a deeper dive into the Wellsville Eagles, a little bit of a scouting report and what to expect in this one. So come on back after these messages on the Baldwin State Bank pregame show.
Up your lawn care game at Hers Inc. in Spring Hill. We have one of the area's largest and most diverse selections of lawnmowers, including top brands like Altos, Bobcat, Gravely, Dixie Chopper, and Red Max. Quality built machines for any size job. And when you get your mower at Hers, we offer full service and repairs covered by your warranty. From the backyard to the back 40, the all-star lineup of mowers at Hers will make you the captain of the lawn. See the full lineup at hersinc.net. Call 913-247-3530 or just stop on by.
State Farm Insurance Agent Cody Anno is ready to be there for you every step of the way. From starting policies out to the day disaster strikes, Cody and his team are ready to help. Cody strives to be different, doing things the other people don't and other agencies won't, helping more people in more ways. That's Cody Anno State Farm. Call 785-594-0270 or stop by at 208 Baker Street for a cup of coffee and a free quote for your auto, home, or life insurance with Cody Anno, your local State Farm insurance agent in Baldwin City.
For unbeatable service from a company you can trust, there's only one choice. Clint Davis and the One Choice Heating and Air Conditioning team have the expertise you need when it comes to the comfort of your family. Not only will they get the job done right, but they'll explain the preventative maintenance needed to avoid those costly emergency repairs. To schedule a free quote, call 785-393-9329 and join the Preferred Maintenance Club for special discounts. One Choice Heating and Air Conditioning, the one and only choice for the comfort of your family.
Welcome back to Baldwin City. We're going to take a look now at the Wellsville Eagles and a little bit of a scouting report on them. Their running back, number 4, Nash Money, a 5'8" senior. He's probably their go-to guy offensively. First team All-Pioneer a year ago, and Bryce is a pretty balanced team offensively, but he's going to be their money back, if you will. I said I was going to avoid that, but I didn't.
Well, I mean, just talk about all-name team, Nash Money. I mean, come on. You can't make that kind of stuff up. He's a really good player. Not tall in stature, only 5'8", but he packs a punch, 180 pounds. He's a senior who has just put together an outstanding career here at Wellsville. 525 career carries for him, 100 yards or more in 18 games. He's had 5 200-yard games in his career, over 3,300 yards and 54 touchdowns. I mean, he is a really good player, but they aren't afraid to throw the ball. Willie Dorsey, their junior quarterback, they throw it about 15, 18 times a game, and that's, because they trust him throwing the ball, because the reality is they could just turn and give it to Money almost every time, but they do like to throw the ball. They've got big play threats across the board. Des Winton is basically a touchdown waiting to happen every time he gets the football. Big-time playmaker. Brody Lee, David Signs, a couple of other big play threats on this offense. So they are tough to defend. That's why they're an offense that's averaging 40 points per game, because they can hit you in multiple ways, and the Bulldog defense will have to be ready to defend it all tonight.
Yeah, 100%. We're going to take another quick break here. We're going to come back with the Cody Anno State Farm keys to the game in this one. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on the Baldwin State Bank pregame show.
Lamb Roberts Price Funeral Home is honored to be your choice when the difficult time comes to plan a lasting tribute for your loved ones. There to guide you through the process from beginning to end, with each family's unique traditions and beliefs in mind. Visit lamb-roberts.com to see all of the services offered, including their online pre-planning tool, or call 785-594-3644 to visit with the caring professionals at Baldwin City's only locally owned funeral service and cremation service provider, Lamb Roberts Price Funeral Home.
With Heartland Plumbing, you get full-service plumbing from a real plumber, not a sales guy who's just there to fix a leak. Heartland Plumbing sets appointments they hold true to, not an inconvenient block of time they might be there. With a strong reputation and years of quality service, Heartland Plumbing has the tools and the people to get your plumbing job done on time the first time. Give them a call at 913-856-5846, serving every big town and small town around, residential and commercial. That's Heartland Plumbing, the plumber you can open your door to. Kelly Neufeld and his team at Farm Bureau Financial Services are there to help you protect what matters most in your life. From insurance plans customized to fit everything you need covered to comprehensive financial planning to help you achieve your goals both present and future. Kelly works uniquely with you face to face to gain confidence in your financial well-being. Call 785-594-1055 to set up a meeting with Kelly Neufeld at Farm Bureau Financial Services in Baldwin City. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Back in Baldwin on the Baldwin State Bank pregame show, getting you set for Wellsville at Baldwin tonight. Time now for the State Farm Keys to the Game. Tonight's game plan brought to you by your local State Farm insurance agent, Cody Anno. Stop by for a cup of coffee and meet the team over at State Farm Insurance. Cody would love to get to know you and find out how he can help you protect the people and things you value most. Whether it's updating a current policy or you're looking to switch to something brand new, go see Cody Anno at State Farm Insurance, 208 Baker Street in Baldwin City, or call 785-594-0270 and online at codyismyagent.com. All right, Bryce, what do you got?
Yeah, well, I think it starts with you got to take care of the football. Absolutely can't turn it over tonight. Baldwin has turned it over 13 times this year. They threw 3 picks last week. We talked about the impact those had. And Wellsville has just been a turnover-forcing machine this year. 17 turnovers forced this year by that defense. 13 picks. They've had at least 1 interception in every game. 5 of their 7 games, they've had multiple picks. You have to take care of the football in this game if you're Baldwin. Secondly, relish the moment. We talked about rivalry being renewed here tonight. Chance to spoil the undefeated season that's going right now for the Eagles. And these are the games you want to be a part of. And so Baldwin has a chance tonight to just relish the moment, be a part of it, and go out there and make something big happen. And finally, for me, Ryan, unleash the playbook tonight. Reality is you need to do more than just win this game if you want to make that postseason run. But even without the postseason storylines aside, tonight's the night where you just have to kind of unleash the playbook, and anything you've been saving, go ahead and put it out there on the field and try to pull off this upset over an undefeated Wellsville team tonight.
Yeah, last regular season game of the year. Can't hold anything back now. But we will take another break. This has been the Baldwin State Bank pregame show presented by Baldwin State Bank. Personal service from people who care. That's what you get at your hometown community bank, Baldwin State Bank. Whether it's personal finances, business money management, loans and credit, or savings for retirement, go see Baldwin State Bank. For over 120 years, they've helped serve our community. Enjoy a better banking experience with your friends and neighbors at the Baldwin State Bank. We'll be back with the starting lineups and opening kickoff in this one from Baldwin next.
At Baldwin State Bank, we love being part of the community we serve. Our roots run deep in Baldwin City, and our commitment runs deeper. Whether it's that dream house you can't wait to call home, or the trust of your personal finances, both present and future, we're here to serve you, our customers, our neighbors. Baldwin State Bank, proud supporter of the Baldwin Bulldogs for more than 100 years and counting. Come see us downtown or online at baldwinstatebank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Dr. Philip Harvey at Oral Surgery Kansas is a proud supporter of the Baldwin Bulldogs. Dr. Harvey and his staff wish all of the Bulldogs the best of luck this year as you continue to make Baldwin City proud. Oral Surgery Kansas provides personalized, gentle, comprehensive patient care for a wide range of oral surgery procedures. To learn more, visit oralsurgerykansas.com or call 785-843-5490. Oral Surgery Kansas, cheering on the Baldwin Bulldogs.
Hayden Outdoors Real Estate has proudly been serving the Midwest since 1976, covering 29 states and over $1.3 billion in annual sales. Chad and Penny Sheldon are some of the top producing brokers from Baldwin City, Kansas, selling farms, ranches, rural homes, and recreational real estate throughout Kansas. Their knowledge, passion, and expertise will help make your next real estate transaction an excellent experience. Contact Chad or Penny today by phone at 785-821-2666 or by email at shad@haydenoutdoors.com.
Back here in Baldwin, Ryan Hilmer, Bryce Kessler with you, about to bring you Wellsville at Baldwin. The opening kickoff is brought to you by the Baldwin City Recreation Commission. Tomorrow is the big day, the second annual Downtown Beverage Festival. The special ticket price of $30 online, and tonight at midnight. Any remaining tickets will be available tomorrow afternoon at the BCRC office. Come sample some of the region's finest beverage offerings with live music from Blackshear, food trucks, and more. Get your ticket now at baldwinrec.org. All right, Bryce, ready to go in this one. A rivalry renewed. Eagles at Bulldogs. Let's get this thing underway.
Absolutely, and I like the fact that Baldwin is going to receive this opening kick, get a chance to get the offense out there first and go out there and put Wellsville perhaps in a situation that they haven't been in much that year, and that's chasing points. And albeit it would be very early if Baldwin is able to accomplish that, but I do like the fact that the Bulldogs are going to get the first touch here.
So Baldwin, like you said, going to receive to start the game. And the ball falls off the tee anticlimactically.
That is one thing. We've had such beautiful weather all year, and tonight still, I would say, for October 21st, this still falls in the category of a beautiful weather night for football. Is the temperature right now here at kickoff, you're looking at 77 degrees, but it is windy, so that may play a small factor in the game tonight.
Kick is away, and we are underway from Liston Stadium. Looks like that on the return. Number 33, Jaden Michael, gets it up out past the 30-yard line. Baldwin will start their first possession at their own 32.
Good starting field position here for Baldwin. And like I said, I do love the fact that they're getting the ball first. And they are without Riker Grossner tonight. That is one thing that is certainly an impactful guy missing. Their leading receiver this year, 28 grabs, 383 yards. He is not in the lineup tonight, so we'll have to see who can step up in that spot. Looks like the Bulldogs are going to go on the ground first.
And they will hand it off for a gain of a couple, get it out to about the 35-yard line.
And there's a chance to see those starting lineups, and we thought it might be Guy Morgan. It looks like it's Tristan Bass actually is going to start in that Baldwin offense in replace of Riker Grossner, but take a look at the other side there of those starting lineups in this game tonight.
So Cody Buck, the starting running back, stands to the right of Jack Harvey. They'll hand it to Buck. He's going to be swarmed and swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Couple Eagles combining for that tackle down there. Starting lineups were brought to you by the Lumberyard Arts Center. You can see the lineup on your screen there as you take a look at their upcoming lineup on your screen. Don't miss out on all the great events, live music, arts and crafts, unique experiences, youth and adult classes, and so much more. Learn more at lumberyardartscenter.org. Create, play, innovate at your creative home in Baldwin City, the Lumberyard Arts Center. Here's Harvey throwing for the first time. He's got his man, Sam Darnell, his favorite target, with Grossner out especially. He gets out past the 40-yard line for a Baldwin first down. Well, not a first down quite. It'll be fourth down and short here.
Yeah, yard short, and Darnell had his best game of the year last week, 6 catches, 73 yards. That was with Grossner missing half that game last week, and he stepped up. They needed him too, but they're really going to need him stepping up big in this game tonight. I like that high percentage throw to start things out for Harvey, trying to get him into a rhythm against this ball-hawking defense of Wellsville. Big fourth down on this opening drive of the Bulldogs. 4th and 1 on their own 41.
Yeah, Jack last week went 8 of 19 for 100 yards through those 3 interceptions. See where they go here, speed option right, give it to Buck, and that's going to be a first down and more up close to midfield. Dragged down by Jace Troutman. And that'll be a Baldwin first down.
Yeah, so the first big critical play of this game, 4th down in your own territory. They really like that speed option. It gives both Harvey the option, obviously, to run that ball, and he's so good at inviting the pressure, then getting that pitch out to Cody Buck. And I think we're seeing early on here, Ryan, the game plan somewhat for Baldwin, control the clock a little bit. They're not in a hurry. They've gone to the ground now on 3 of their 4 snaps. Try to control the possession time in this game and keep that explosive Wellsville offense on the sideline.
And that's been something Baldwin's been good at this year, is kind of controlling that clock, patient drives. Here's a play-action fake. Harvey will try to find his man. That is Darnell again. He does get ruled inbounds with a nice catch. About 3-4 yards.
Sorry, Ryan. Jake Richards tried to undercut that again. This is a defense that loves taking it away. They have 11 straight games with an interception going back to last year, and that was a very small window to fit that pass into, and really good concentration by Darnell to see that into his hands through the defender, making a cut on it.
And like you mentioned, a couple Little short, high percentage throws for Jack, trying to get him in a rhythm and comfortable in this one. They're going to need a little bit of a balance against this Wellsville defense. It's time to go play action pop pass. He's got a man. That's Darnell. He's down inside the 25-yard line, down close to the red zone. And the Baldwin moving the ball here in their opening possession.
Using that running game that they've had success with early on to set up that play action. They're moving Darnell all around the formation right now. There's no question that he's the guy they want to get the ball to, but when a defense knows that you've got a, in this game especially without Grossner, a specific favorite target, moving him around in the formation is one way to continue to get him open a little bit, because they can't just key on him always being in that same spot, and a different guy is going to have to match up with him.
So Darnell, it's a wing right now. Gunnar Reichard wide right. They'll fake it. Harvey's going to keep it himself. Stiff arm. He'll be dragged down about the 11, 12-yard line. So Baldwin, really great opening drive here. This is what you want to do, come out and establish a rhythm offensively.
Yeah, it's perfect, and it's big for the confidence of this bunch as well. Again, last week, a 20-point loss to Bishop Ward. I thought that it was closer than the score would suggest, and a lot of that was the fact that the offense turned it over 3 times. So to come out here and establish their identity early on in this ball game against a very stingy Wellsville defense is huge.
And I thought that Bishop Ward game, once they lost Riker Grossner, who's out again tonight, as Bryce mentioned, the things started going downhill. So I believe somebody else can step up here in this one. Looks like he's got a man in the end zone. He just threw it behind Darnell. I thought Jack might have had Capel running towards the corner of the end zone, but throws it incomplete, his first incompletion of the game.
Yeah, he's going to want that one back. Darnell, that was as open as he's been on any of the passes so far, but, no problem. And, you mentioned Grossner. It's different when now you have a whole week to prep a game plan knowing you're not going to have him, as opposed to middle of the game, all of a sudden, oh, no, he's not there. It's a whole different attitude and just mentality how that offense will operate. So it doesn't make the loss of Grossner tonight any less impactful, but what it does allow is the team to mentally prepare themselves to not have him coming into this game.
Yeah, Riker coming in, the leading receiver with 28 receptions, 383 yards, 2 touchdowns. So a big loss. Going to have a offsides on Wellsville, so tack on 5. It'll be 2nd and 5. Something that, sorry, Bryce, Baldwin's done a pretty good job of all year long is avoiding penalties. These last few weeks they've piled up a little bit, but done a pretty good job all year.
Yeah, now can they take advantage of a big penalty down here in the scoring zone here, down inside the 10-yard line, and that's a big 5 free yards that Wellsville just gave up.
Like you said, coming in, Wellsville probably hasn't had to chase a lot of points so far this year, so if you can get out early, be huge. Harvey takes the snap, the run speed option left, gets the buck, he bobbles it, controls it, and gets dragged down by a flock of Eagles. Inside the 10-yard line, didn't gain much though, just lucky not to fumble that ball.
Yeah, lost a couple of yards, but they maintain possession, and that is certainly the important part out of that. It does make it a tough 3rd down, and it becomes tougher down here in this part of the field because the defense does have that, kind of extra defender, if you will, on the in line, the back line of the end zone, so they don't really have to be worried about that threat of the receivers getting behind them. It makes it tougher to throw the ball, makes it tougher to run the ball because run support's closer. So big play here for the Bulldogs trying to cap off this opening drive.
See that Wellsville defense set up in about a 4-2-5 formation. Pretty stingy all year, only 9 points allowed per game. Here's Jack rolling to his right, looking for a man in the corner of the end zone. He had Darnell overthrew him just a little bit. Nice effort there on the back end, but it'll bring up a 4th down and 7 for Baldwin.
Something that Jack does so well is extend the play with his legs. He's able to get outside of the pocket. He loves to run, but he's not afraid if he thinks he has something there, and he did have a little window to try to get that ball to Darnell. The good part about that throw, though, there, Ryan, is he made it to where either Darnell's going to go up and get that or it's going to be incomplete, and that's something that they've got to avoid is the turnovers, and Jack, made a good decision there to make that one option, either a catch or an incomplete, no turnover chance there.
So 4th down and 7. See what Baldwin goes with here. Jack's going to roll out right. He's going to be looking for a man. He might just tuck this thing and try to run for it. He's not going to get nearly enough, though. Nice stand from the Eagles that time.
An 11-play drive for the Bulldogs, but it all comes up for nothing after that. Certainly a good drive. You don't want to take anything away from what was an excellent drive there from Baldwin. Took almost 5 minutes off the clock. The reality is it came up empty. A turnover on downs inside the 10-yard line. They did that last week early in the game against Bishop Ward as well. Hopefully that's not a sign of things to come as this game moves along, but now the defense has to step up.
Yeah, not great starting field position for Wellsville from their own 10-yard line, but they start their first possession 1st and 10. Spread formation. Now they'll bring a jet motion. That's money. They pitch it to him. He's coming out the right side. He's got about 9 yards and a nice gain on 1st down.
Yeah, so that's a play that won't show up in the stats, but Willie Dorsey, he's a really good basketball player and has great hands, great rebounder, and right there he had to go up with that right hand and catch that high snap. That could have been a disaster for Wellsville, and they end up getting 7 out of it.
And number 4, Nash Money, their main running back, stands to the right of Willie Dorsey. Spread out 4 wide receivers. Now they'll bring David Sines, the tight end, to the opposite side of the formation. They'll hand it off to Money, and that very stout Baldwin defensive line swallows him up.
And Wesley Martin able to make that tackle there for Baldwin, and he's the inside linebacker on this Baldwin defense, one of the inside linebackers, and he's able to make that play because of the success this defensive line has in stalemating that offensive line.
It looked like Brett Davidson was in on that stop as well. Sets up a 3rd down and short. They'll pitch it to Money. He's got a little bit of running room out left, but a nice tackle made by Cody Buck comes flying in. Nicely done, but Wellsville did get enough for the 1st down.
I thought for a second maybe there was a flag thrown, but there is not. But you're right. I mean, it is a 1st down, but that's the type of tackle you've got to make on a guy like Money to all of a sudden make him start thinking, okay, it's going to be physical here tonight. When I get hit, I'm going to get hit.
Yeah.
And so even though it's a 1st down, it's a statement tackle there by Cody Buck.
Look to pass for the first time. It's going to be just shy of his intended target that time. Looked like Brody Lee. Dorsey did well to avoid the rush initially, but thought he might tuck that and run it. He's not the most proficient runner in the world. He's a good athlete, doesn't run too much, but they'll throw it 15 to 18 times a game.
Yeah, unlike Harvey, Dorsey isn't necessarily trying to run every time, but he's a really good athlete. Just he likes to throw, and he likes to throw from the pocket. So if Baldwin could do that and force him off his schedule, get him moving a little bit, that will certainly help the secondary against this very, very good playmaking receiving core.
Sines goes in motion left to right. They'll throw it. It's going to be intended for Desmond Winton and incomplete. Once again, nice coverage that time by Baldwin.
And that's a guy you do not want to see with the ball in his hands. Des Winton is excellent with the ball in his hands. He's got 10 touchdowns this year, and they've come in a variety of ways. He's caught 5, he's run 1, he's returned a pick for 1, he has 2 punt returns and a kick return touchdown. Just an explosive playmaker that Baldwin wants to be right on him whenever he does catch the ball, because in the open field, he is dangerous.
Once again, they spread things out. 3 wide receivers, a wing. They'll fake it to Money. Morgan got pressure initially on him, and now he gets out of a couple of tackles. Dorsey running around, trying to make a play. Now throws it deep. He's got his man. That was quite a play, quite a connection. That was Brody Lee on the receiving end.
So even right there is a good example where amongst all of that, Willie Dorsey still didn't even run the ball. He was still trying to make a play down the field, and eventually, as you said, did find Brody Lee, and that's really tough for a secondary. I mean, you can't fall Baldwin secondary there. Trying to defend guys in helter-skelter mode with people running all over, that's just a really tough ask.
I was going to say, that was pretty good coverage, and like I said, Vance Morgan got some pressure early on him. And this time they'll pitch it out near side, and another great tackle coming flying in is Cody Buck once again. Cuts him down right around the line of scrimmage. Looks like might be a flag.
Yeah, there is a flag. They've got the pink flags tonight.
Wasn't sure what that was.
Yeah, for pink out night, so it's a little bit of a different look. You're used to obviously seeing the yellow flag come in there. They're pink flags tonight, and almost sort of dark pink flags.
Yeah, I thought the ref might have lost his handkerchief or something. Baldwin also rocking the pink socks. Yeah, it's going to be a hold on Wellsville. Will back them up. So pink out night here on senior night as well.
All right, Baldwin, can you use it now? You've got him back, push back on that holding penalty. This is the moment where this defense that has progressively gotten better all year for Baldwin to make a play on this series here.
1st and 20. They'll give it off to Nash Money, and he's dragged down in the backfield by a couple of Bulldogs. Looked like Dylan Williams was in there.
And Jake Van Horn also on that tackle, and that's so important to get Money corralled before he gets going, and so far they've done that. He is really yet to get loose and really get a full head of speed going, and when he does, he's dangerous. He is an experienced guy, tons of yards in his career, over 3,300 career yards, and he's averaging 6.8 yards per carry this year.
Yeah, what a year Van Horn's having defensively on that line, too, making play after play.
No doubt.
Play action here. They'll throw a little screen pass out right side. And Harvey's going to drag down the receiver that time. It's Kyle Fouts. No Devin Haas tonight. So Kyle Fouts starting in his place, the 5'8 senior.
And I'm not sure how long Haas has been out, perhaps last week, and I say that because Fouts had a nice game last week. In fact, it may be the last couple of games, because the last 2 games, Fouts has 4 catches for 109 yards and 3 touchdowns. The first 5 games totally at 2 for 12, so he has really stepped up the last couple of weeks for Wellsville.
We'll send trips near side. Nash to the right of Dorsey. He'll look to throw. He's got some time and throws it to his tight end, David Sines. A nice connection there, just shy of the 50-yard line for another Wellsville first down.
All right, now Wellsville coming up with the big plays and critical moments. A couple of third down conversions for him now, and they're doing it on the arm of Willie Dorsey. He completes almost 62% of his passes for the year, and he has now hit his last 3, and they've all been big plays.
And the Baldwin secondary not really used to having to chase so many receivers around on a consistent basis as they are right now.
And having to cover for a long time, which is really tough to do.
They'll run speed option right, pitch it to Money. He's got a little bit of running room outside the right side. He's going to have a nice gain of about 30 yards out to the Baldwin 30-yard line. Finally pushed out of bounds out over there by Jack Harvey. Those are those big runs that you're talking about. Baldwin needs to avoid giving up to Money.
Yeah, that's what hurt him last week in the Bishop Ward game. 3 touchdowns of 59 yards or more. They allowed 3 50-plus yard touchdowns the entire season going into that game last week, and they allowed 3 of them in the game to Bishop Ward. And they can't afford to have those big-time plays tonight. So far, they've held them somewhat in check, but night is young.
Winton and Lee stacked here near side. They'll throw it to Lee on a little curl pattern, and Guy Morgan dragging him down from behind, gets a little bit of help, but out into the Baldwin red zone marches the Eagles.
I mean, right now there's 12, 15, 16. They're picking up big chunks of yardage.
And Dorsey looking good so far tonight. He had a season high in his last game, went 20 of 31, 345 yards, 5 touchdowns. Did throw a couple of picks, but man, that's a pretty decent stat line.
Well, no, so last week was 12 of 14 for 345, 5 and nothing.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yep.
Yeah, that was. He had a huge game last week. 345 yards on 12 completions. I mean, think about that. That's ridiculous.
That's a high average. Running out right side that time for a modest gain of about 4 or 5. Be second down and 5 for Wellsville.
All right, well, we saw the Wellsville defense, Ryan, bow up and make a stop down inside the red zone. Now it's Baldwin's turn to try to do the same with their defense.
It's been a long drive here, only 2 drive each and almost done with the first quarter. They'll give it to Money up the middle. Breaks through the line inside the 10-yard line. Be first down and goal. Well, no, not quite a first down. I'm sorry. It'll be third down and short. So this is a big opportunity for Baldwin. I guess they would probably go for this.
Yep, I'm with you. And this will be the 14th play of this drive. This drive is now 6 minutes and 10 seconds old after Baldwin had an 11-play 5-minute drive to start the game. So 2 really good opening drives, but now we got to wait to see if the difference is 1 scores and 1 doesn't. Baldwin's hoping it's 2 empty trips.
So a big third down and short here. Dorsey takes the snap, gives it off to Nash right side. He bursts through for a first down and more, down to about the 1 yard line. Maybe the 2 yard line, but first down and goal now for Wellsville.
Already 8 carries on this opening drive for Nash Money. He is a workhorse. They're not afraid to feed it to him a bunch. He's handled it as many as 36 times in a game in his career. This high this year, 28 carries, and he's well on his way to that number here on the opening drive.
That's where that D-line needs to get some push up front. They'll hand it to Money, and he will waltz into the end zone for a Wellsville touchdown. And they take the first lead of the game, 6-0 Wellsville.
Well, that's about as good of a drive as you could have for an offense. Wellsville right there, 15 plays. They go 90 yards, and it took them almost 7 minutes off of the clock. And that was a great opening drive. And Baldwin's going to have to come up with an answer. The good news is Baldwin knows they can move the ball against this Wellsville defense. They proved that already.
I could say that Baldwin had a pretty impressive opening drive as well, just couldn't finish. Kicker number 22, Matt Newhouse, 31 of 36 on extra points. And this one is up and good. So 7-0 Wellsville early. We'll be right back here on Baldwin Sports Live, presented by Hayden Outdoors.
Dr. Philip Harvey at Oral Surgery Kansas is a proud supporter of the Baldwin Bulldogs. Dr. Harvey and his staff wish all of the Bulldogs the best of luck this year as you continue to make Baldwin City proud. Oral Surgery Kansas provides personalized, gentle, comprehensive patient care for a wide range of oral surgery procedures. To learn more, visit oralsurgerykansas.com or call 785-843-5490. Oral Surgery Kansas, cheering on the Baldwin Bulldogs.
Up your lawn care game at Hers Inc. in Spring Hill. We have one of the area's largest and most diverse selections of lawnmowers, including top brands like Altos, Bobcat, Gravely, Dixie Chopper, and Red Max. Quality built machines for any size job. And when you get your mower at Hers, we offer full service and repairs covered by your warranty. From the backyard to the back 40, the all-star lineup of mowers at Hers will make you the captain of the lawn. See the full lineup at hersinc.net. Call 913-247-3530 or just stop on by.
Back here in Baldwin, Wellsville off to a 7-0 early lead here with 27 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Pretty impressive drives from each team to open the game. Both teams marched it down, but Wellsville able to punch it in. Baldwin was not.
15 plays, 90 yards, 6:49 off the clock. 2-yard touchdown run from Nash Money, his 55th career rushing touchdown.
This kickoff going to bounce around the 5-yard line. Be taken by Jaden Michael. He loses his footing, and he's going to be marked down inside their own 10-yard line.
Tough break. That ball goes 2 yards further. It's a touchback. You're back out at the 20-yard line, and instead you're on your own 9. So gut check time here for the Bulldogs after they just gave up that touchdown on the heels of getting stopped down inside the Wellsville 10-yard line. They need an answer here on this drive, and if at the very least just move the ball a little bit and reestablish your identity again on the offensive side. Don't want to give this ball right back quickly to Wellsville.
So start out 2-by-2 the formation. Harvey in the gun. Sent Darnell in motion left to right, and they'll hand it off to, I believe that's Vance Morgan back there. It is for his first carry of the game. Vance has had himself a pretty nice year overall, the 5'10", 180-pound senior. 40 carries, 315 yards, and 1 touchdown. Had one game over 100 yards, his longest run 79.
That's going to do it for the first.
So at the end of one, it is Wellsville 7, Baldwin 0 here on Baldwin Sports Live, presented by Hayden Outdoors.
Lamb Roberts Price Funeral Home is honored to be your choice when the difficult time comes to plan a lasting tribute for your loved ones. There to guide you through the process from beginning to end with each family's unique traditions and beliefs in mind. Visit lamb-roberts.com to see all of the services offered, including their online pre-planning tool, or call 785-594-3644 to visit with the caring professionals at Baldwin City's only locally owned funeral service and cremation service provider, Lamb Roberts Price Funeral Home.
When choosing a bank, wouldn't you prefer doing business with a local institution with years of commitment to our community? That's Baldwin State Bank. For more than 100 years, we've been providing products and services specifically tailored to our friends in Baldwin City. Whether it's a free checking account, savings for retirement, or your next loan, we'll be here. Because our roots are here. Baldwin State Bank, proud supporter of the Baldwin Bulldogs. Come see us downtown or online at baldwinstatebank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back. Baldwin Sports Live is presented by Hayden Outdoors Real Estate, the #1 land brokerage for farm, ranch, and recreational properties. If you're looking to find your next dream property or thinking about listing, go with the best in the business. Your local Baldwin City brokers, Shad and Penny Sheldon at Hayden Outdoors. If you desire an escape to country living, they've got the perfect modern farmhouse available just outside of Baldwin. The newly remodeled home sits on nearly 3.8 acres of tree-lined, undeveloped farm ground. See this beautiful property and more at HaydenOutdoors.com. So drive number 2 here for Baldwin. Start the second quarter. 2nd and 11. They're going to throw it quick out near side. That's the big man, Sam Darnell. He's going to be swallowed up by a host of Eagles. Get a gain of about 3.
Wesley Martin on the sideline right now for the Bulldogs. He is one of their big key players, senior on this team, starting inside linebacker, starting left guard, as well on this offensive line that's done so well this year for the Bulldogs, helping pave the way to about 235 yards of rushing per game and keeping Jack clean in the pocket. So big loss right now. Hopefully they can get him back at some point. He's getting worked on the sideline, though.
Looks like Michael Newman, the sophomore, in at left guard. Harvey stands in the gun. He's got Buck next to him. Send Darnell across the formation, and they'll blow it dead.
Delay a game, I believe.
Yep. Did not get the playoff in time. That'll back Baldwin up 5 yards. 3rd down and longer. Half the distance, excuse me. That's not what you want to happen inside your own 20-yard line with already a 3rd and not really manageable. 3rd and 8.
And you're looking at what, about 3rd and 13, 14 yards now. And,
about 14.
You know, Darnell's been the guy, obviously. He's come up with all 4 catches so far for the Bulldogs, but somebody else at some point tonight, if Baldwin is going to be able to slice through this Wellsville defense, somebody else is going to have to step up and be a target and make some catches in this offense, because Riker Grosner, as we've talked about, not in the lineup tonight, and everything can't go to Darnell. So whether that's Tristan Capel, Gunnar Reichard, Jackson Rude, Guy Morgan, Tristan Bass, I mean, whoever it's going to be, somebody has to step up and make a big play before this night is over.
Darnell, 27 catches, 333 yards, 2 touchdowns coming into play tonight. It's like the refs having a little bit of a discussion about things here.
Yeah, I'm wondering if the play clock didn't get set properly, and so they're questioning now whether there actually was a delay of game, and maybe it didn't get reset. That's just a guess based on the conversation. They brought the back judge in on the conversation, and that's why I'm guessing it has something to do with that play clock, because the back judge is the one that keeps an eye on that play clock and makes that, or, you know, and initiates the flag for that delay game. And now they are waving the flag off. So whatever happened, they've decided that there was some type of an error with the play clock, and it either didn't get reset to the right number or it started early or something, but they're waving off that delay of game penalty, so that will help Baldwin, but still a tough 3rd and 8 situation coming up.
Yeah, the official going to explain himself over to head coach Mike Berg of Wellsville. Baldwin Sports Live is also brought to you in part by Rice Precision Manufacturing. If you're looking for a great job with a growing family-owned company right here in Baldwin City, then check out Rice Precision Manufacturing. They are actively looking to fill positions for skilled CNC machinists and CNC operators. Excellent pay, competitive benefit packages, a climate-controlled work environment, and a friendly support staff dedicated to the betterment of their employees. Send an email to jobs@riceprecision.com to schedule an interview today. So back to a 3rd and 8 here from their own 12-yard line. 2-by-2 the formation. See where they go. I think Jack on his legs here. He'll look to throw it. He's looking right side. He's going to be pressured up the middle, breaks a tackle, and he's going to use his legs and get a big first down.
You called it, Ryan. I mean, it's such a weapon to have the quarterback that can be able to create a play like that, backed up, shadow of your own goalpost, and rip a run for 8 yards there and move the chains.
He got pressure right up the middle in his face from one of the defensive tackles that time. Nice job able to escape that, get out to his right and use his wheels to get around the outside.
And the Wellsville secondary, I mean, they were really ones that kind of created that need because there was a pretty good pocket initially, but they had great coverage downfield, and Harvey eventually had to just take what was available, and that was take off and run.
796 yards, 12 touchdowns on the ground for Jack Harvey this year. That's leading the team. He's looking left side again, getting pressured, almost dragged down. He'll float one deep for Darnell, but well over everyone's head. Nice by Jack just to get rid of that one. He was about to be dragged down.
Yeah, he had Capel initially. There was a timing trying to hook up on like a hook route here on this near sideline, and the timing was just thrown off a little bit, which because of that, it was a good decision not to throw it. Those types of routes, when that receiver stops, comes back to the ball, if you don't have the timing right, that's when the defensive back can make that break on it and take it the other way for a pick six. So it was there, but Harvey didn't get to it in time and then made the wise decision at that point not to throw it and took a shot with Darnell instead.
Yeah, we mentioned Wellsville likes to turn teams over, 13 picks and 4 fumble recoveries this year, and only turned it over 7 times himself, so plus 10 turnover differential. That's pretty good.
Yeah, 18 straight games going back to last year now with at least 1 turnover forced by this Eagle defense.
Harvey's going to look to set up a little screen pass left side to Cody Buck, but he's going to be swallowed up, and I think they might get a hold on Baldwin as well.
Yeah, I think Jackson Rude is going to get caught with a hold there. Good job by Wellsville rallying there and making that play. They had multiple hats there on the football, and Cody, we talked about, Nash Money and Des Winton not wanting those guys to get in the open field for Wellsville. Well, same thing goes on the other side. Cody Buck is a guy, if he can get into the open field, is very dangerous. So getting a guy to him right away on the catch, not letting him get those yards after catch, that's going to be important for the Wellsville defense.
Looked like Jake Richards and Brody Lee combined on that stop. And with the holding penalty, they'll back Baldwin up to their own 9-yard line. 2nd down, 21 now. I think they got Jackson Rude on that hold. Run a little jet motion. Jack's going to keep it himself, though. Fight for a couple hard yards. It's number 59, Joseph Stites, on the tackle.
It feels like Baldwin's had the ball forever, and yet we've not moved anywhere. He started on the 9-yard line, and we're at the 12-yard line now, but yet there's been 5 plays run. It's 2 steps forward and 3 steps back right now for Baldwin on this possession.
They're stopping the clock here, and the officials walking over towards the Wellsville sideline again. Not sure what this could be about either. How's your lip reading, Bryce?
Not good from this distance. You're the one who has the binoculars. Yeah, I'm not sure what. Well, Jack Harvey has come out of the lineup now.
Yeah, and on comes the backup, Ethan Williams.
I mean, I didn't, it was you mentioned a hard yards gained right there, and he took a shot, has to come out of the game. That is not good news there for Baldwin.
Not at all. Williams going to take the snap, try to run out left side. He's going to be drugged down immediately. So a tough time to just get thrown into the game. 2nd down and long now, or 3rd down and long now brings up 4th down for Ethan Williams, but sometimes you get called into duty.
Yeah, no question. That's a tough spot to be in, and also no question here, Baldwin will have to punt this ball away. And, update, Wesley Martin is still not back in the game, and I don't think he is coming back. He is still without his shoulder pads, without his helmet down on the sideline, so it looks like his night might be over. Now they're checking on Jack Harvey after a big hit, so you couldn't ask for worse injury luck of the Bulldogs have had here this series.
They do get the punt away from their own end zone. Didn't catch who we had out for the punter that time, because usually it's Wesley Martin, who Bryce mentioned has his shoulder pads off, and he does not look like he's going to be back into this game.
Yeah, Martin, or it's Harvey on the pooch punt, and both of them out now. So that's a really tough luck there for Baldwin with those couple of injuries to two really, really important players on this team. And now let's see if somebody can, step up in the moment and make a big play for him here.
That's two of your team leaders right there.
Mm-hmm.
And you throw Riker Grosser in there as well. That's the last thing Baldwin wanted to see. But anyway, good field position here for Wellsville. Start their second possession. He's going to look to throw at Dorsey. He's got a man open. That's Winton, the big play receiver. He is inside the 10-yard line, gets drugged down. Touchdown saving tackle that time. But a big play for Wellsville, and that's the arm from Dorsey.
Yeah, really good ball right there. Hit Winton in stride. Good route by Winton to kind of just give him enough of a fake in before cutting it off and heading out to that sideline and creating that big separation to make that big play. 37 yards.
Sets up a first down and goal from the 5-yard line. Gave it to Nash Money to punch it in. Last time they'll do the same thing here, and he punches it in once again, makes the score 13-0 Wellsville.
After they went a long 7-minute nearly drive, 15 plays their first time, they were able to cash in on just 2 plays after that great field position. And 2-score lead now. Wellsville finding themselves in familiar territory with an early lead on the road. They're looking to cap off a second straight undefeated regular season, and so far so good for the visitors.
So they set up in a little bit of a faux swinging gate. Doesn't really look like they're interested in it. They'll line back up for the extra point. Matt Newhouse. The lefty's kick is up, and it is good. 14-0 Wellsville leads it here on Baldwin Sports Live, presented by Hayden Outdoors.
State Farm Insurance agent Cody Anno is ready to be there for you every step of the way. From starting policies out to the day disaster strikes, Cody and his team are ready to help. Cody strives to be different, doing things the other people don't and other agencies won't, helping more people in more ways. That's Cody Anno State Farm. Call 785-594-0270 or stop by at 208 Baker Street for a cup of coffee and a free quote for your auto, home, or life insurance with Cody Anno, your local State Farm insurance agent in Baldwin City.
Trindle Lumber Company is the go-to stop for every do-it-yourselfer and professional contractor. They carry a wide variety of plumbing, electrical, and hardware products, along with a vast selection of windows, doors, and paint. Their full-service drive-through lumber yard has what you need for every project and offers free estimates and professional delivery. At Trindle Lumber Company, you get the right products with the best service. Stop by at 1516 South Main in Ottawa or call 785-242-8144.
Welcome back to Liston Stadium here in Baldwin City. It's been a good start for the Wellsville Eagles visiting the Baldwin Bulldogs tonight, renewing a rivalry, and they have jumped out in front here, scoring touchdowns on their first 2 offensive possessions.
Yeah, I'm excited that the rivalry gets renewed, and hopefully for years to come it will be. It's been such a good rivalry between these two teams over the years, and first time since 2013 we've got them paired up.
Jaden Michael fields the kickoff on a hop and gets a pretty nice return out past the 25-yard line to about the 28. So possession number 3 here, and we'll see who comes trotting out onto the field. It is not going to be Jack Harvey. It's going to be the backup Ethan Williams once again, so being thrust into some big-time action here.
Yeah, only a freshman, and we've seen him in multiple games this year, Ethan, in kind of the mop-up time at the end of games. And at that point in time, you're not really running the offense as normal, and now he's going to be asked to run this offense like normal. Big moment for this freshman on the senior night. He's as far from a senior as you can get, but he's got a big moment on tap here.
I'm going to say it's a huge, huge opportunity for him, though. He'll fake it to Vance Morgan, keep it, and gets swallowed up by just about everyone on that Wellsville defensive line.
He's only a freshman, as we mentioned, but one thing we have seen, he is not afraid to run the football right there. You know, he could very well just say, I'm just going to hand this ball off and get out of here. But no, he pulls it on the option and makes his read and tries to put his shoulder down and go for that run and, you know, loses a couple of yards. But he is not afraid to run the football. He's not afraid to stick his nose in there. Tough young man.
So 2nd down 13 from their own 24-yard line. They'll send Darnell across the formation. Williams will take the snap, give it to Vance Morgan. Tries to burst through the middle of that line. Gets a pretty nice gain. Back to the original line of scrimmage is all. It'll be 3rd down and once again long, about 10 yards. Well, call it 9.
And so Williams has only thrown 5 passes this year, and those all came in the Osawatomie game. At the end of that one, he was 3 out of 5 in that game. All 3 of his completions went to Jackson Rude, so probably going to have to put in the air here at some point tonight, and why not right now?
Yeah, why not? Let it rip. 2-by-2 the formation. Morgan to the left of Williams. He's going to roll out to his left. Looks like he overthrew his intended target, Darnell, or might have been going towards Capel on the corner route. Either way, incomplete pass will bring up 4th down.
And you're already in a tough spot being forced into action, and then your first pass, you're asked to roll left and throw. I mean, that is not an easy throw right there. To have to throw on the run and then do it running to your left as well, and just sailed it a little bit. Didn't get those shoulders, you know, squared up, turned, and aimed at that target. But that's a tough thing to do, running that way.
Yeah, so it is going to be Ethan Williams punting this thing away, and I think that's something we take a little bit for granted with Jack Harvey, is his ability to throw on the run. He makes it look pretty easy.
No doubt.
Coming up to make a fair catch in crowded area was Brody Lee that time. That was a courageous fair catch.
Yeah, well, courageous would be one word for it. He made the catch though, so it's all good. But that's, you know, I say that, but then on the other side of it too, that can be a dangerous ball even if you let that go as a returner, because you've got your teammates who have their back to it, not realizing it's that short that it can take a funky hop and hit one of them on the leg. So, you know, it's a risky play, but that's one of those as a returner you gotta kind of have to judge, is it more risky to let this one go, or at least I can see it. I trust my hands. I'm going to go catch it, and that's what Brody Lee did.
Yeah, I think as a coach, it's always okay just as long as you catch it.
Exactly, exactly.
We go trips far side, Dorsey in the shotgun. Take the snap, gets pressured immediately from Davidson and Van Horn. Being chased, Dorsey, you can see he's got good wheels, good athlete. He's going to get a gain of about 7 yards.
Yeah, I think Willie Dorsey is the type of quarterback that if he had the mindset of a runner, kind of like Jack Harvey, he could put up similar numbers. He's not ever going to be as physical, I don't think, as Jack, but as far as the athleticism and the speed, but he likes to create and find a guy to throw it to, and right there knew that his best option was to run and a nice 6-yard pickup.
2nd and 4. Ball on the left hash. They'll flip the formation. Trips near side. Dorsey takes the snap, fakes the handoff, and big hit that time on a block. It's completed out wide to Kyle Fouts, but boy, it looked like.
Yeah, it was David Sines that saved Fouts from taking a big hit, although Fouts did take a big hit at the end of that play anyway, and he's slow to get up now, but it was Sines who laid that block as Gunnar Reichard was getting ready to level Fouts right on the catch, and Sines picked him off with a nice block.
That's the play you have to make, though, each way. I mean, that's Reichard. You got to come up and try to stick that play, and as the other receiver, you got to make a block, and they did it pretty well that time. Gives me a chance to tell you about one of our other sponsors here, the Bullpen. Baldwin Sports Live is brought to you in part by the Bullpen, your locally owned sports bar located in downtown Baldwin City. Join them for a big night of MMA fights tomorrow evening, or post up for a big day of football on Sunday. They're open 11 a.m. through 2 a.m. Monday through Saturday, and 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Sundays. A perfect place to go before, during, or after the game. Follow on Facebook at Bullpen Baldwin City for all the latest happenings at your local sports bar, the Bullpen.
Good to see Kyle Fouts up on his feet, being able to walk off the field under his own power. It's been a tough night for injuries already in this game. We've seen the injury bug certainly take its toll on the Bulldogs, losing 2 pivotal starters in Wesley Martin and Jack Harvey now, and they were already without several key players in this game coming in, and now one of the starters and a guy who's been a big piece of this offense and defense all year, Kyle Fouts, goes out of the game for Wellsville.
Yeah, I definitely feel for Wesley Martin, though, on senior night, the senior getting knocked out of your final. There will be another game next week, but your final home regular season game. Here's Nash Money up the middle, breaking tackles, weaving his way inside the 10, inside the 5-yard line. Sets up a 1st and goal. Nice run there from Nash Money.
And he is just continuing to do what he has done all year, and that is run very efficiently, run for big yards, and takes it down to the 5. He has a chance for a 3rd touchdown already. He has 56 career touchdowns, and you're talking about a kid that has carried the ball in his career coming into tonight 525 times, and in those 520-plus carries, his average 6.5 yards per carry.
So a 1st down and goal from the Baldwin 4-yard line. Gonna blow this play dead. I believe a false start on Wellsville will back him up 5 yards. Beautiful night here on a Friday night. Wind blowing a little bit more than we're used to. Usually we've been pretty perfect this year, honestly. Every Friday night we've broadcast for you has been beautiful weather.
Yeah, there's about a 15-mile-per-hour wind out of the north, and it could be 40 degrees and blowing, and instead it's 70 degrees and blowing.
Exactly.
So they'll no complaints out there, I don't think.
Dorsey will take the snap, hand it off to Money. He's going to weave his way into the end zone for his 3rd rushing touchdown of the game. Wellsville has scored touchdowns on all 3 of their offensive possessions.
And all 3 from that man, Nash Money.
So 20-0. And on for another extra point is Matt Newhouse. Converted his first 2. He's only 1 for 3 in terms of field goals on the year. 37 yards was that 1 field goal. So haven't asked him to do a lot other than kick a lot of extra points.
You don't need to when your offense is as good at scoring touchdowns as this offense is.
And that one up and good as well. So 21-0. The Wellsville Eagles lead it here on Baldwin Sports Live, presented by Hayden Outdoors.
For unbeatable service from a company you can trust, there's only one choice. Clint Davis and the One Choice Heating and Air Conditioning team have the expertise you need when it comes to the comfort of your family. Not only will they get the job done right, but they'll explain the preventative maintenance needed to avoid those costly emergency repairs. To schedule a free quote, call 785-393-9329 and join the Preferred Maintenance Club for special discounts. One Choice Heating and Air Conditioning, the one and only choice for the comfort of your family.
Kelly Neufeld and his team at Farm Bureau Financial Services are there to help you protect what matters most in your life. From insurance plans customized to fit everything you need covered to comprehensive financial planning to help you achieve your goals both present and future. Kelly works uniquely with you face-to-face to gain confidence in your financial well-being. Call 785-594-1055 to set up a meeting with Kelly Neufeld at Farm Bureau Financial Services in Baldwin City. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Welcome back to Liston Stadium, 21-0, the lead for Wellsville as they get set to kick it back to the Bulldogs, looking to answer here. It's kind of a now or never time, but it's going to be a tough hill to climb, losing a couple of their key contributors in Wesley Martin and Jack Harvey. So some younger guy is going to have to step up here for the Bulldogs. It'll be a senior here, Sam Darnell. He almost fumbled that ball, but he takes it out past the 25 to the 26. Is where Baldwin will start their next possession.
Yeah, so far the offense, as is you could probably predict, since Harvey was knocked out of this game, the starting quarterback has not been able to get anything going yet. And the Wellsville defense, which is already stingy as is. Last year they gave up just under 9 points per game. This year they're only giving up right at 9 points per game. They've got that blood in the water type of a feeling right now on this defensive side, and they're just playing downhill, coming after Baldwin.
Most points they've given up this year was against Bishop Ward, 21 points. And that very stingy, 9 points per game allowed, as I said earlier.
That's a good start, though. You have to get those first down plays to be successful right now. You got your backup quarterback in there. You can't be playing from 2nd and 9, 2nd and 10 type of situations. Buck with a 5-yard first down run. Now that gives you some options here, 2nd and 5.
That's a big way to keep a young quarterback comfortable, stay ahead of the chains. No negative plays, no penalties. Give him an opportunity to succeed. Williams going to drop back to pass and get crushed immediately. On the tackles, Jake Richards, he gets the sack, the 6'2 senior, and Williams not much of an opportunity at all that time.
No, and that's what I was meaning when I'm saying they're just right now blood in the water. They're just coming to feast, and they're just pinning their ears back and coming after them. And it's a very tough spot to be in, a very difficult spot to be in if you're Ethan Williams trying to run this offense right now. And Wellsville, they don't need much to get confidence, a jolt of confidence in this team, but seeing the opposing team starting quarterback goes down is one of those jolts of confidence that has this team now playing even at a higher level than they already play at.
So 3rd down and 11 from their own 25. They'll hand it off here to Cody Buck. He's going to get maybe one, maybe back to the original line of scrimmage, if anything. Bring up another 4th down. And now I think they're going to send out the punt unit once again, but still first half. Getting to the point, though, you're already down 21-0.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're looking at, 4th and a couple of yards, then you can go for it. But, I mean, the reality is 4th and 10, 4th and 11, I mean, the odds of converting are just so low as it is, even with a full complement of your weapons. And right now you have anything but a full complement of weapons.
Well, Williams got that punt away. It was a low one. Looked like it might have hit somebody, but gets fielded eventually and drugged down by Tristan Capel that time. Nice on the coverage. That was Brody Lee on the return. But, yeah, I mean, you feel for Ethan Williams getting kind of shoved into this type of situation against such a good football team. And then on top of that, you also got to do the punting. Probably not used to that either. So,
well, it's going to take the defense at this point for Baldwin to create that game-changing type of a play. Right now, the offense is stymied so much by everything that's gone into that the defense has to come up and make a play here. They've got to try to force a turnover, do something to shift the momentum and get some excitement back to the guys in purple.
Tristan Bass, now the other safety along with Cody Buck, in for Jack Harvey. Run speed option left side. Dorsey will keep it. Get a couple of yards. There's Jake Van Horn on the tackle.
Van Horn's had a great sophomore season. He and Brett Davidson, both sophomores, on the ends of this defensive line. They've got bright future between that pair. A lot of youth on this team. It's a pretty good balance this year. Something that we didn't have much of last year was that balance between the experience and the youth. It was pretty much all youth a year ago for Baldwin. This year they got that nice balance, and we've seen the results because of that.
2nd and 9. They're going to blow this dead. We have another false start on Wellsville.
Wellsville last year made it all the way to the state quarterfinals. They started 10-0. It was a tie for the second best start in their program history. The only better start back in 1974 when they started 11-0 before losing to Sacred Heart in the semifinals. But they are on just a roll right now, and you know that they've got their sights set on not just another run to the quarterfinals, but beyond. They moved up in classification this year, but it hasn't stopped this operation from just keeping going.
Yeah, it'll be fun to monitor them in the coming weeks, see how far they can take this undefeated season. Dorsey gets pressured immediately and gets it off to his big play receiver, Winton. He's going to break a couple of tackles and be thrown out of bounds at the Baldwin 31-yard line. Nice job by Dorsey that time to get that ball out.
196 yards last week for Winton, a career high for him. And he is a big play guy with the ball in his hands. We've seen it already a couple of times tonight.
Yeah, he scored 10 touchdowns on the year, at least one in every game but that Burlington game. A big play receiver. It's time to go trips right side. They'll pump fake and throw it deep towards Winton. Darnell's there in coverage, and nice job by Darnell to stick right with the big play receiver, and Sam's fired up.
What a play. I mean, you're talking about an outside linebacker, DN type of guy in Sam Darnell that just ran the wheel route with one of the fastest guys on the field in Des Winton and stayed step for step right in stride with him, got his head turned around, played the ball perfectly. I mean, that was as good as you could do in pass coverage right there by Sam Darnell. What a play.
Yeah, that's big time. See, Darnell usually outside linebacker having to split out a little bit wider with this trips formation down here near side. Dorsey drops back to pass once again. He's going to fire another one deep, and this one's going to be incomplete. Brody Lee, the intended target, almost made a heck of a catch down there.
And again, really good coverage there.
Yeah.
Tristan Capel was right there and just almost slowed up a little bit too much, it looked like, and Lee was able to explode there at the end and gave himself a chance to haul that pass in. But, you know, Baldwin's done a pretty good job in the secondary so far in this game. They've been with the receivers, and really the only plays, you know, big plays they've given up have been because of the length of time they've had to cover, and the plays have just kind of broken down, but they've done a pretty good job sticking with these big play receivers.
Yeah, 100%. I mentioned earlier, they're not really used to seeing an offense that passes the ball as much as Wellsville is right now. Dorsey going to roll out to his right once again, look to throw. He's going to check it down short. That's Kyle Fouts. Fouts coming in, only had 6 catches on the year, 121 yards and 3 touchdowns for the senior, but has been targeted pretty heavily the last couple games.
Yeah, 4 of those 6 catches you mentioned have come in the last 2 games, and he's added 3 more catches now in this one. So he has really stepped up in the absence of Devin Haas, who had 9 grabs coming in on the last couple of weeks before he was lost to an injury.
Put Winton in the backfield with money. They'll hand it off to Winton this time. He's got a lot of speed out the left side, and he's not going to get caught. Into the end zone for another Wellsville touchdown. Makes it 27-0.
Yeah, when you've got playmakers like that, you just got to find a way to get him the football. That's his 2nd rushing touchdown to go along with 5 receiving touchdowns this year and several return touchdowns as well. And you can see why this Wellsville team is sitting there at 7-0 and now up 4 scores in their hopes to go to 8-0. They've got a lot of guys you have to defend and a quarterback that is very good at spreading the ball around to his weapons. He's already hit 4 different receivers in this game, and he's completing almost 80% of his passes.
Yeah, I mean, that was just pure speed that time, just running out around the outside and past everybody. Extra point up and good for Wellsville. They lead this thing 28-0 now. Come on back on Baldwin Sports Live, presented by Hayden Outdoors.
With Heartland Plumbing, you get full-service plumbing from a real plumber, not a sales guy who's just there to fix a leak. Heartland Plumbing sets appointments they hold true to, not an inconvenient block of time they might be there. With a strong reputation and years of quality service, Heartland Plumbing has the tools and the people to get your plumbing job done on time the first time. Give them a call at 913-856-5846. Serving every big town and small town around, residential and commercial. That's Heartland Plumbing, the plumber you can open your door to.
Hayden Outdoors Real Estate has proudly been serving the Midwest since 1976, covering 29 states and over $1.3 billion in annual sales. Chad and Penny Sheldon are some of the top producing brokers from Baldwin City, Kansas, selling farms, ranches, rural homes, and recreational real estate throughout Kansas. Their knowledge, passion, and expertise will help make your next real estate transaction an excellent experience. Contact Chad or Penny today by phone at 785-821-2666 or by email at shad@haydenoutdoors.com.
28-0 the lead for Wellsville here at Liston Stadium. Senior night for the Bulldogs. Already had one senior in Wesley Martin knocked out of the game, though. Jack Harvey also out, no Riker Grossner. But Baldwin trying to battle their way back into this game, down by 28. Received the football here. Nice kickoff. It'll be fielded by Darnell at about his own 5-yard line. Gets cut down at the 20, and that's where Baldwin will start their next possession. Coming up next is the Farm Bureau Financial Services halftime show. Don't want to miss that. We'll take a look back on some of the key moments here in the first half, check some of the stats. But a game that's been kind of dominated by Wellsville, but the storylines have been injuries for Baldwin.
Yeah, no question. The game started so well for Baldwin. The opening drive, I mean, they just marched the ball right down the field, had to convert a fourth down, made some big plays on an 11-play, 59-yard drive, turned it over on downs inside the 10-yard line, and it's kind of been, as they say, the rest is history from that point on, all Wellsville.
Williams will hand it off to the senior, Vance Morgan. Looks like the ball might have came out. Wellsville celebrating on their sideline, and the officials do give it to him. Be a turnover and a fumble from Vance Morgan, gives the ball right back to the Eagles, already up 28-0.
Yeah, it's just kind of a perfect storm of bad things happening to the Bulldogs, and I'm not going to say by the Bulldogs. I don't know that it's really anything that the Bulldogs are doing poorly themselves. It's just a combination of circumstances going as hard against you as possible right now, and then coupled with the fact that you happen to be playing the best team you've seen maybe all year as well. And it's created what has been a storm so far for the Baldwin Bulldogs.
Yeah, make no mistake about it. Wellsville is a very good football team. They're looking to make some noise in the playoffs this year. Mentioned last year they went to the quarterfinals, got knocked out. Dorsey able to pitch that when he was falling to the ground. Got it off to Money, and he gets about a yard further than Dorsey would have been.
Yeah, that's one you just want to eat that one and not try to make that pitch going down without your legs underneath of you. You just open yourself up to a couple of things. One, turnover, but even two, injury possibly, because you're putting your body in an awkward position to try to make that. So, he's like most of these guys out here. They're playmakers by nature. They're athletes that are competitors, and they want to try to make every play. Sometimes the best play is to live to play the next one.
Here's that same formation they scored the last touchdown on. Split running backs, went into the left, Nash Money to the right. They'll give it to Money. He'll rumble out for about 3-yard gain. 34 seconds and counting in this second quarter, and a timeout taken by Wellsville. So, been all Wellsville so far in this one.
And there is, we've talked a couple of times about playoffs and this and that. Yeah. And, next week there is a game regardless of result. They'll play a Week 9 game. Last year Baldwin matched up with Royal Valley in that Week 9 game, picked up their only win of the season in that Week 9 game. And, it's been a vast improvement from a year ago to this year for this Baldwin team. And regardless of what happens over the next 24 minutes plus these 33 seconds, Baldwin will get a chance to once again play next week. What the lineup looks like at this point in time, we will wait to see, but you hope to find some positives here in this next half of football and try to parlay that into a big game next week to try to cap off your season.
So Wellsville trotting back out, got a 3rd down and 5 from the Baldwin 16. Used their first timeout, got 2 remaining. 33 seconds left here in this first half. 28-0, they lead it. Dorsey will drop back to pass. Tries to throw it right side. Looked like that ball got tipped at the line. That was Brett Davidson, I believe.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think it was Davidson that got a hand on that. And that's what they say. If you can't get to the quarterback, get your hands up and make a play that way. And you mentioned Newhouse earlier, Ryan. As long this year, his only field goal he made was from 37. And it looks like he's going to have a chance here to add another field goal to that tally, and they're going to mark it around about a 34-yarder here.
Yeah, 1 for 3 on the year. Like I said, that one field goal from 37, so see if the lefty can convert here. Good snap, holds down, kick is up. It looks like it is not going to have enough. Looked like it was had the distance almost, but not quite. So one for 4 on the year.
Why not? In that situation, if you're Micah Berg, you don't have many opportunities to kick field goals. You don't know what's going to happen in these next several weeks. Heck, you might need Matt Newhouse to come out there and kick a field goal for you. So go ahead, put him out there, give him a shot. It was a windy night as well. It's not the easiest night to kick field goals. So up 28 at this point in time. That's a decision. Yeah, you could have kept your offense out there and tried, but what do you really gain with that? You perhaps gain more by giving your field goal kicker a chance. So I like the decision.
That's a good point. You might need a big field goal in a playoff game down the stretch. Here's Vance Morgan getting drove back. Not much there, maybe a couple of yards. That will probably wind down the rest of this first half, a half that was dominated by Wellsville, and they lead this thing 28-0. Don't go anywhere, though, because next up is the Farm Bureau Financial Services halftime show. We'll take a look back at the first half, check some stats, and take a look at some of the other games around the district. So don't go anywhere. Coming right back on Baldwin Sports Live, presented by Hayden Outdoors.
Kelly Neufeld and his team at Farm Bureau Financial Services are there to help you protect what matters most in your life. From insurance plans customized to fit everything you need covered to comprehensive financial planning to help you achieve your goals both present and future. Kelly works uniquely with you face-to-face to gain confidence in your financial well-being. Call 785-594-1055 to set up a meeting with Kelly Neufeld at Farm Bureau Financial Services in Baldwin City. It's your future. Let's protect it.
For unbeatable service from a company you can trust, there's only one choice. Clint Davis and the One Choice Heating and Air Conditioning team have the expertise you need when it comes to the comfort of your family. Not only will they get the job done right, but they'll explain the preventative maintenance needed to avoid those costly emergency repairs. To schedule a free quote, call 785-393-9329 and join the Preferred Maintenance Club for special discounts. One Choice Heating and Air Conditioning, the one and only choice for the comfort of your family.
When choosing a bank, wouldn't you prefer doing business with a local institution with years of commitment to our community? That's Baldwin State Bank. For more than 100 years, we've been providing products and services specifically tailored to our friends in Baldwin City. Whether it's a free checking account, savings for retirement, or your next loan, we'll be here. Because our roots are here. Baldwin State Bank, proud supporter of the Baldwin Bulldogs. Come see us downtown or online at baldwinstatebank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back here on Baldwin Sports Live. Time now for the Kelly Neufeld Farm Bureau Financial Services halftime show. Halftime show is brought to you by your Farm Bureau Financial Services agent in Baldwin City, Kelly Neufeld. There to help you protect what matters most. That's Kelly Neufeld and his team at Farm Bureau Financial Services. Call 785-594-1055 to set up a meeting and see how Kelly and his team can help you achieve your financial goals, both present and future. So, Bryce, taking a look back on that first half, you look at the scoreboard and you see that it was largely dominated by Wellsville, scoring touchdowns on all their possessions, but one there, and that missed field goal was the only one they didn't score a touchdown on. So, uphill to climb for Baldwin here in the second half.
Yeah, you have to love the way the game started for Baldwin. They got the ball to start the opening kick, and then they drove the ball all the way down to, I believe they got it as far down there, about the 9, maybe even just inside that. Had a chance to score first. Would have been huge to get that first points on the board. Didn't happen, though. They turned it over on downs. Had a chance on a couple of occasions then to get off the field defensively. But Wellsville put together the best drive of the game we've seen so far. 15 plays, 90 yards, 6:49 off of the clock, and capped off with a 2-yard touchdown run, the first of, as you mentioned, 4 straight touchdowns. And so that was the big turning point. I mean, who knows what this game looks like if the Baldwin's able to capitalize and score and then make the stop, because they had multiple chances to do so. But then the reality set in, and that is injuries. And that's kind of the, I don't say that to take away from what Wellsville did in the first half, but it certainly impacted what Baldwin did, or in this case was unable to do, because anytime you lose your starting quarterback, it's going to be a hit to a team. Anytime you lose a senior leader who, is both a leader on your offensive line and the guy who calls the defenses in that middle linebacker in the defense, in a Wesley Martin, you lose him, you lose Jack Harvey, the quarterback. 2 very critical losses have happened in this game for Baldwin to injury, so hopefully they're being, at this point, held out for precaution, and they'll be good to go by next week. I mean, that's obviously your hope if you're Baldwin. You wish, and we wish, the best for those two guys. They were on the sideline but don't appear to be coming back into this game tonight. So that's a big loss. It makes that already steep uphill climb even steeper right now for the Baldwin Bulldogs. So chance to gather your breath, regroup a little bit, and try to come up with something to come out here and find a little success in the second half.
Yeah, 100%. I think there was a couple of bright spots that you look at. I think the secondary played pretty well, keeping with these receivers. Got a lot of big play receivers. Number 1, Desmond Winton, one of those guys that they had to bring into the backfield. They handed it to him, and he used his wheels to get around everybody and outrun them to the end zone. So I think there's been some positives. The defensive line playing pretty well, but it's going to be tough when you lose, 2 of your top probably 5 guys, and then having another one out in Riker Grosner. And so, uphill hill to climb for Baldwin here in the second half. We'll be right back and check some of the numbers in the first half on Baldwin Sports Live, presented by Hayden Outdoors.
Lamb Roberts Price Funeral Home is honored to be your choice when the difficult time comes to plan a lasting tribute for your loved ones. There to guide you through the process from beginning to end with each family's unique traditions and beliefs in mind. Visit lamb-roberts.com to see all of the services offered, including their online pre-planning tool, or call 785-594-3644 to visit with the caring professionals at Baldwin City's only locally owned funeral service and cremation service provider, Lamb Roberts Price Funeral Home.
Hayden Outdoors Real Estate has proudly been serving the Midwest since 1976, covering 29 states and over $1.3 billion in annual sales. Chad and Penny Sheldon are some of the top producing brokers from Baldwin City, Kansas, selling farms, ranches, rural homes, and recreational real estate throughout Kansas. Their knowledge, passion, and expertise will help make your next real estate transaction an excellent experience. Contact Chad or Penny today by phone at 785-821-2666 or by email at shad@haydenoutdoors.com.
Welcome back to the Farm Bureau Financial Services Halftime Show. It's time to check the numbers from the first half, brought to you by New Frontier Tax and Business Services at 608 High Street in Baldwin City, where they want to remind you that it's never too early to start thinking about tax season. Call for helpful tips on how to best prepare and learn about upcoming changes to maximize your return. Timely, accurate, and reliable services at an affordable cost to help your business grow and succeed. Visit newfrontiertbs.com or call 785-594-1204 to learn more.
28-0, our score here at the break. Wellsville, 248 yards of offense. Pretty even. 119 on the ground, 129 through the air. That's been kind of their MO this year. They've been a very balanced team, and they were that in the first half of this one. Baldwin shut out in the first half, 69 yards of offense. 59 of that came on the opening drive. So after that one drive to start, their ensuing 5 possessions went for a -1, 2, 0, 1, and 3 yards. So that opening drive was great. Since then, Wellsville has clamped down on this Bulldog offense. Big plays, 11 over 10 yards in the first half for Wellsville, 3 20-plus yard plays. Baldwin just 2 plays of over 10 yards. The Bulldogs averaging 2.8 yards per play. Wellsville ripping off 8.5 yards per snap right now on offense. 4 penalties for Wellsville for 25 yards, just 1 penalty, 10 yards against the Bulldogs. Had 1 turnover in that first half. That was a Bulldog lost fumble. Individual numbers, Wellsville's Willie Dorsey, 8 of 13 through the air for 129 yards. 2 of those catches went to Des Winton, 2 for 54 for Winton, 2 for 31 for Brody Lee, 3 for 32 for Kyle Fouts, 1 for 12 for David Sines on the receiving category. Nash Money, the leading rusher in this game, 14 carries, 87 yards, and a pair of touchdowns, and or 3 touchdowns, I should say. And then Desmond Winton, along with his 2 catches for 54, has 1 rushing attempt for 24, and that went for a touchdown. 2 carries, 8 yards for the quarterback, Willie Dorsey. For the Bulldogs, Jack Harvey, 4 out of 7 in the first half for 36 yards. He carried 5 times for 15 yards before he was knocked out of this game with an injury. Ethan Williams came in to replace him, attempted just 1 pass in that first half. It was incomplete, ran twice for a loss of 7 yards. All 4 pass completions from Harvey went to his senior tight end, Sam Darnell, 4 catches for 36 yards in that first half. And the leading rusher was Cody Buck, 6 carries for 16 yards. Vance Morgan added 4 carries for 9 yards in that first half. Those are your numbers, brought to you by New Frontier Tax and Business Services. 28-0 our score here at the break.
All right, we'll take another quick break. We'll come back and get you some of our upcoming broadcasts here on Baldwin Sports Live. Also take a look at some of the other scores around the district. So don't go anywhere. Come on back on the Farm Bureau Financial Services halftime show.
With Heartland Plumbing, you get full-service plumbing from a real plumber, not a sales guy who's just there to fix a leak. Heartland Plumbing sets appointments they hold true to, not an inconvenient block of time they might be there. With a strong reputation and years of quality service, Heartland Plumbing has the tools and the people to get your plumbing job done on time the first time. Give them a call at 913-856-5846, serving every big town and small town around, residential and commercial. That's Heartland Plumbing, the plumber you can open your door to.
Trindle Lumber Company is the go-to stop for every do-it-yourselfer and professional contractor. They carry a wide variety of plumbing, electrical, and hardware products, along with a vast selection of windows, doors, and paint. Their full-service drive-through lumber yard has what you need for every project and offers free estimates and professional delivery. At Trindle Lumber Company, you get the right products with the best service. Stop by at 1516 South Main in Ottawa or call 785-242-8144.
All right, welcome back to Liston Stadium here in Baldwin City, Kansas. 28-0 the score as Wellsville leads Baldwin here. We'll give you a look at some of our upcoming broadcasts, and, well, it's pretty simple. Only one more here this fall. It's next Friday, October 28th, and this Baldwin Bulldog team is guaranteed one more game, whether they go to the playoffs or not. It looks like they're not going to be in the playoffs, but 6:40 pregame, 7 o'clock kick. We don't know quite who we're going to be playing.
Yeah, I didn't take a good look at try and evaluate who that opponent would be based on the Acacia standings here. I want to pull them up here real quick while we're talking about it, and we'll see if we can discern who that might be. It'll be the likely results hold, the third place finisher out of District 3, or out of District 4, which Perry Lecompton and Royal Valley. It's going to be one of the two of them, and they play each other tonight. So it looks like whoever wins that Perry Lecompton Royal Valley game, it looks like that'll be the team that Baldwin will play. That's completely Bryce unofficial, but it looks like. So I'll see if I can find a score for that one for us. But and I'm not sure home and away. I'm not even going to begin to guess on that one. I don't know how they determine that, but it looks like it'll be either Perry Lecompton or Royal Valley next week for Baldwin. Royal Valley, who they played last year in that Week 9 game and won. Perry Lecompton, they also played last year as well because they were in the district along with Hayden, and then they moved because of Wellsville moving up to 3A and had to redo some of the districts. So we lost Perry Lecompton and Hayden, and now he may end up meeting them again anyway. Yeah,
that's let's take a look at some of the other scores around the district. I think after one was the last update we got in that Bishop Ward Osawatomie game, 14-0. Bishop Ward leads it in that one, so that was the game kind of Baldwin was going to need some help from if they're going to win this game. Doesn't look like that's going to be the case anymore. Already down 28-0 with a couple of key cogs in the machine out due to injury. So it's going to be a big, big mountain for Baldwin to climb. But overall, there's some positives to take away from that first half, so not all negative. We'll be right back here after one more break on the Farm Bureau Financial Services halftime show. The halftime show has been brought to you by your Farm Bureau Financial Service agent in Baldwin City, Kelly Neufeld. That'll help you protect what matters most. That's Kelly Neufeld and his team at Farm Bureau Financial Services. Call 785-594-1055 to set up a meeting and see how Kelly and his team can help you achieve your financial goals, both present and future. Take another quick break and be right back here with the start of the second half kickoff on Baldwin Sports Live, presented by Hayden Outdoors.
Kelly Neufeld and his team at Farm Bureau Financial Services are there to help you protect what matters most in your life. From insurance plans customized to fit everything you need covered, to comprehensive financial planning to help you achieve your goals both present and future. Kelly works uniquely with you face-to-face to gain confidence in your financial well-being. Call 785-594-1055 to set up a meeting with Kelly Neufeld at Farm Bureau Financial Services in Baldwin City. It's your future. Let's protect it.
Hers Incorporated in Spring Hill is your area's premier small engine repair shop. Before you replace that faulty trimmer or mower, let our experts get you back to work. And if you are in the market for a new handheld, we carry Maruyama and Red Max trimmers. Plus, Hers is still the best place for hydraulic hoses, cylinder repair, and mechanical control cables. If that's not enough, we're also a UPS drop-off location. To learn more, visit us at hersinc.net, call 913-247-3530, or just stop on by.
Dr. Philip Harvey at Oral Surgery Kansas is a proud supporter of the Baldwin Bulldogs. Dr. Harvey and his staff wish all of the Bulldogs the best of luck this year as you continue to make Baldwin City proud. Oral Surgery Kansas provides personalized, gentle, comprehensive patient care for a wide range of oral surgery procedures. To learn more, visit oralsurgerykansas.com or call 785-843-5490. Oral Surgery Kansas, cheering on the Baldwin Bulldogs.
All right, back here in Baldwin at Liston Stadium on senior night, 28-0. The Eagles from Wellsville lead it, getting you set for the second half here.
We have the winners of the halftime football field contest.
It's going to be Baldwin kicking it off to Wellsville to start the second half. A little bit of confusion here as to which way we're headed.
Well, they're going to make them put 3 more minutes on the clock. So
are they?
Yeah. So that's always it's the goofiest thing. But the initial halftime clock, when it expires, then there's an additional 3 minutes that's put up on the clock, and it always confuses people because half the time the players, they come out, they don't know if this is the new 3 minutes, if this was the old 3 minutes. Anyway, but it's required. They have to give them that extra 3-minute warm-up time, and so that's what happened here. Is both teams had come out, they were ready to go, and then the officials said, oh, no, we got 3 more minutes. We've got to wait before we can actually kick off this second half. So that's fine. We've got 3 minutes before the start of the second half, but we'll see what Baldwin get going in this second half. They're going to put the defense back out on the field to start this against what was a machine in the first half, this offense for Wellsville. They have been clicking all year long, and the balance of this Wellsville offense is one of the big things that makes them so tough to defend, and we've seen that in this first half where they were basically even rushing and passing. We don't expect the injured Baldwin Bulldogs from that first half to be back available in the second half, and neither of them look like they will be, so that's not going to help. There's no reinforcements coming here if you're Baldwin in this second half, so we'll see what kind of adjustments they made here at halftime, and what we can get going in the second half. Hope to come up with some positives and something that you can take into next week in what will be your season finale against, I believe, either Perry Lecompton or Royal Valley. I've not seen a score yet on that game. I was looking through Twitter to try to find one, but can't.
Yeah, it's interesting to me. It's something I'm going to watch here in the second half is kind of the run play balance from Wellsville. It seemed to me like more they went up by later in the first half. They started to throw the ball even more, but they throw the ball, 15 to 18 times a game, and I don't think that matters what the score is. They're going to throw the ball. They're going to run their offense and prepare their team for the playoffs coming up.
Yeah, Mike Berg, the head coach of Wellsville, he's in his 4th season, but of course it's a name and a guy that Baldwin fans are very familiar with. He was the head coach here at Baldwin for 19 seasons, from 1998 through 2016, averaged 6 wins a year while he was here at Baldwin, had 3 different 10-plus win seasons. And I like the fact, you see some coaches sometimes that, and there's a fine line, between not wanting to, quote-unquote, run up a score, do that kind of stuff, but yet I feel like you need to keep your offense running as it is and keep guys, executing, and you're a team that is a balanced type team, and you're going to throw the ball a little bit, you're going to run the ball a little bit, you're going to do it both. And so I do like the fact that Coach Berg gets his team to continue to run their offense. We'll see, because you're also in that point in time now where the district is all but, in fact, it
wrapped
is
up, really
locked up now, basically, if you're Wellsville. So now you also have to balance that, okay, keeping guys healthy as well. We've seen some key injuries on the Baldwin side in this game. One injury we saw from Wellsville, Kyle Fouts, he has been able to return since that, though. And so, at what point, if you're Wellsville, do you start to say, okay, we're healthy still, let's get out of here that way, because you have bigger and more important games coming up down the pipe here a week from tonight, and then if you're Wellsville, you're hoping for about a month longer.
If you're Coach Berg, though, there's got to be a little bit of motivation coming back to a place where you coached at for 19 years, coming back and maybe wanting to stick it to the Bulldogs a little bit, but
I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll see. I a lot of the faces change. That's one of those things.
That's true.
Then it's a whole new coaching staff. These players, none of them were around at the high school level, so I don't think that's probably in his thoughts too much. I think it's more about, he wants to make sure his team is best prepared to keep this undefeated run going.
Kickoff fielded by Brody Lee, almost muffed it. Gets dragged down immediately, though, and Wellsville will start out their first possession of the second half at right around the 30-yard line.
Take a look here, Ryan, at our State Farm Insurance game plan from tonight. And, a lot of things have changed because of circumstances with injury and whatnot. Bulldogs, they did have the one fumble, but, they did a decent job taking care of the ball against a really good turnover-forcing defense in that first half. Relish the moment. We talked about that. That could be tough, especially when the things have gone downhill like they have. And it's going to be tough to unleash the playbook when you're starting quarterback. So it's kind of unraveled a little bit for the Bulldogs in that regard.
That ball's going to be dropped out right side by Winton. But you could maybe spin that season the opportunity thing for guys like Ethan Williams and some of the younger guys that we're seeing come in here, and they can seize this opportunity, have a nice second half here, and parlay that into maybe some more playing time next year and going into this this winter sports season on a high note, even though they got one more game coming up next Friday. So 2nd down and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Snap taken and handed off to Nash Money. He gets a pretty good gain before being dragged down by the senior outside linebacker, Sam Darnell.
There's a flag down the far side of the field. I didn't see anything that caught my eye, so I'm wondering if it perhaps is a formation. No, it was a face mask, they're going to say. Okay. Inadvertent face mask.
Yep, so they're going to tack on 5 more yards here. That's going to make it a first down for Wellsville, just past the marker. Be 1st and 10 from their own 41-yard line. Pretty good crowd on hand, though, for the regular season finale here in Baldwin. Wellsville brought a ton of fans as well over on that far side. Good atmosphere here and a rivalry renewed, as we've talked about. First meeting since 2013. It's a quick pass out left side. It's David Sines, the tight end. It's a pretty nice gain of about 7 yards. Sets up a 2nd down and 3.
Bobbled it, but able to stick with it, keep the concentration to make that catch.
Also number 5, Guy Morton. 2nd and 2 for the Eagles.
2nd and 2, just underway here in the second half. Wellsville leading 28-0 on the scoreboard. Dropping back to pass is Dorsey. Looks left side. He's got his man there. It's Kyle Fouts, who Bryce mentioned went down with an injury in the first half, but came back all right. Good to see him back out there, and he's got another Wellsville first down.
Up to 4 grabs tonight. He has become a nice little target for Willie Dorsey. Kind of dropped down and threw that one sidearm there to complete that pass. You talk about rivalry renewed, Ryan. Baldwin has won the last 7 matchups between these two teams. Wellsville hasn't defeated Baldwin since 1998. So again, a lot of these guys are different. They took almost a 10-year hiatus from playing, but it's been a long time. And Wellsville, I think they probably are aware of that and looking forward to finishing this one off.
Dorsey throws right side, a nice double move out there. That was Brody Lee on the receiving end. Going to eventually get dragged out of bounds, but that was a heck of a route run by Brody Lee up top.
Yeah, they're not only explosive, this receiving core, but they're very crisp in their route running, and they make very easy targets for Willie Dorsey as a quarterback. And you have that kind of space between your receiver and the defender, you can sling it with confidence. And this is a pretty well-oiled machine here offensively. And as you mentioned, not afraid, even with the lead, to come out and keep throwing it. Dorsey's already thrown 4 times on this drive.
That's something that's impressed me from Dorsey as well, is his ability to stand in that pocket and go from, target to target, go through his progressions. And you saw earlier this drive, just able to check it down to one of his guys and keep the chains moving. Baldwin Sports Live is presented in part by Hayden Outdoors Real Estate, the #1 land brokerage for farm, ranch, and recreational properties. If you're looking to find your next dream property or thinking about listing, go with the best in the business. Your local Baldwin City brokers, Shad and Penny Sheldon at Hayden Outdoors. If you desire an escape to country living, they've got the perfect modern farmhouse available just outside of Baldwin. This newly remodeled home sits on nearly 3.8 acres of tree-lined, undeveloped farm ground. See this beautiful property and more at HaydenOutdoors.com. So Wellsville taking their first time out of the second half, talk things over. Come out with the play call here. They got a 1st and 10 inside the red zone from the Baldwin 15. Dorsey stands in the shotgun, money to his left. Bring a jet motion, that's Winton. They'll fake it to him. Pressured immediately by Davidson. Dorsey gets out of there. He's going to use his wheels to try and get to the corner of the end zone, and he does. For another Wellsville touchdown. I don't see any flags, and that's going to stand 34-0 now. The score, Wellsville lead it here in Baldwin.
Darnell had him in the crosshairs, but Dorsey could feel it. That's that quarterback sense that you just have to have when the guy is bearing down on you. And had he jumped forward, Darnell would have sacked him, but he hopped backwards just in time and then was able to escape out the edge and showed off that athleticism.
So another extra point attempt here from Matt Newhouse. Been perfect from the extra point territory. Did miss a field goal, and that one is also up and good. So 35-0 the score as the Eagles lead the Bulldogs here in Baldwin on Baldwin Sports Live, presented by Hayden Outdoors.
Trindle Lumber Company is the go-to stop for every do-it-yourselfer and professional contractor. They carry a wide variety of plumbing, electrical, and hardware products, along with a vast selection of windows, doors, and paint. Their full-service drive-through lumber yard has what you need for every project and offers free estimates and professional delivery. At Trindle Lumber Company, you get the right products with the best service. Stop by at 1516 South Main in Ottawa or call 785-242-8144.
Lamb Roberts Price Funeral Home is honored to be your choice when the difficult time comes to plan a lasting tribute for your loved ones. There to guide you through the process from beginning to end with each family's unique traditions and beliefs in mind. Visit lamb-roberts.com to see all of the services offered, including their online pre-planning tool, or call 785-594-3644 to visit with the caring professionals at Baldwin City's only locally owned funeral service and cremation service provider, Lamb Roberts Price Funeral Home.
$35-0 the score here. Wellsville leads it in Baldwin. Getting ready to kick it away back to the Dogs, looking to get anything going offensively. Haven't moved the ball too much since their opening drive of the game. Saw their starting quarterback, Jack Harvey, get knocked out of this one. Here's Jaden Michael on the return. He's going to be hit hard and dropped out around the 26-yard line, so that's where Baldwin will start their first possession of the second half.
That's been tough. Since that 59-yard drive to open the game that turned it over on downs inside the 10-yard line, they've gone 6 plays for a total of a negative yard, 3 plays for 2 yards, 3 plays for no yards, 1 play for 1 yard, 1 play for 3 yards.
That last one, a fumble recovered by Wellsville. So 10:35 left to go here in the third quarter. Ethan Williams, the freshman quarterback, leads out the Dogs. He'll try to hand it off. That exchange was fumbled once again, but I think he jumped on it. Nice job to get back on it. Set up a second and long.
Making the defensive play for Wellsville. Number 25, James Fountain, number 59, Boston Saints.
Vance Morgan's ran it 40 times coming into play tonight for 315 yards and a touchdown. To go along with Cody Buck, the team's second leading rusher, 53 times, 444 yards and 3 touchdowns. But their leading rusher, Jack Harvey, has been knocked out. Baldwin will flip the formation, send the trips down to the near side, run speed option that way. Williams is going to keep it, get hit and dropped immediately. Gets maybe a yard. Sets up once again another third down and long.
I've only asked Williams to throw the ball once so far in this game, and they did it on a design rollout to his left, made it a very tough throw for him. Let's see if they make something a little higher percentage for him, give it an opportunity here on this 3rd and 9.
He's got Capel split out up top, trips down near side. Gonna fake the handoff, get pressured immediately and hit hard in the backfield. He's able to get rid of it, but pressuring him was David Sines, the tight end and linebacker for this Wellsville defense.
He's their leading tackler this year, averages 10.5 per game, has a team high 3 sacks, just missed another one on that play. 15 tackles for loss this year, so he is as disruptive as they come on the defensive side, and he laid the hard hit on Williams, but then did help him back up.
Yeah, you got a feel for Ethan Williams out there right now. It's kind of baptism by fire.
No doubt.
Getting thrown out in your first real action. We've seen him, as Bryce mentioned, come in some mop-up duty late in games, but now getting thrown out into some of your real action against the undefeated Wellsville Eagles. It's not my idea of fun, but Ethan out there competing.
And it is running clock now for the rest of this game as well. So, you don't ever want the clock to be running against you necessarily, but on a night where you've lost several guys and it's just starting to compound, it's one of those where it's just like, okay, let's just get out of here without anybody else getting hurt. I think both teams would probably agree on that sentiment.
Agreed. It's a quick pass right side. Lee on the reception. He's going to be dragged down finally, but not until he gains a first down, a little bit more, about 13 on the gain. Nice little, looked like a quick timing pattern that time from Brody Lee.
That's your defensive tackle, Dylan Williams, who is down the field making the tackle. So that shows you he has not shut the motor off. Going on the pass rush as the DT and then getting downfield 14 yards to make the tackle. Good hustle, good play.
He's one of those guys, I don't think his motor shuts off. Go along with Van Horn and Davidson on that D-line. They'll pitch it left side for money. He'll cut it back, but be drugged down. Nice play that time. Like Jake Van Horn once again. Davidson there as well. What a year it's been from Jake Van Horn. Just such a difference maker on that defensive line. Only a sophomore, 6'4", 245 pounds. He's a big lad, but he's had a great season so far, stepping up in that role.
A lot of youth that this team has really developed nicely, and I've a bright future for this program going forward next year and beyond.
Dorsey will look to pass once again. He's going to go deep and try and find his man, and he does. That is Kyle Fouts, the senior. It is caught in the end zone for another Wellsville touchdown, 41-0. They lead it here in Baldwin.
Let's talk about a breakout game for Kyle Fouts. 6 catches, 76 yards, now a touchdown. And Willie Dorsey couldn't have handed that ball to Fouts any better. I mean, that was a dime. 33 yards, dropped it right on the money, made that as easy of a 33-yard catch as you could have for Kyle Fouts.
So Matt Newhouse been perfect in extra points so far tonight. He'll try another one. Good pressure off the edge that time. Almost got to it, but the kick is up and good. 42-0. Wellsville lead it here in Baldwin. You're watching Bulldog football on Baldwin Sports Live, presented by Hayden Outdoors.
Hayden Outdoors Real Estate has proudly been serving the Midwest since 1976, covering 29 states and over $1.3 billion in annual sales. Chad and Penny Sheldon are some of the top producing brokers from Baldwin City, Kansas, selling farms, ranches, rural homes, and recreational real estate throughout Kansas. Their knowledge, passion, and expertise will help make your next real estate transaction an excellent experience. Contact Chad or Penny today by phone at 785-821-2666 or by email at shad@haydenoutdoors.com.
For unbeatable service from a company you can trust, there's only one choice. Clint Davis and the One Choice Heating and Air Conditioning team have the expertise you need when it comes to the comfort of your family. Not only will they get the job done right, but they'll explain the preventative maintenance needed to avoid those costly emergency repairs. To schedule a free quote, call 785-393-9329 and join the Preferred Maintenance Club for special discounts. One Choice Heating and Air Conditioning, the one and only choice for the comfort of your family.
Back here on Baldwin Sports Live, the Bulldogs trail this one 42-0 to the undefeated Wellsville Eagles, who have dominated the district and dominated just about every opponent they have played this year. They've looked impressive tonight. And they are going to kick this thing back to Baldwin, looking to get just about anything going offensively. They got their backup quarterback, Ethan Williams. This will be Jaden Michael on the return. Try to come out near side and gets chopped down there. On the tackle was Landon Geist, a sophomore on special teams.
He's had a handful really of really good tackles on special teams.
Saw earlier Bryce revisiting the keys to the game. Tonight's game plan was brought to you by your local State Farm insurance agent, Cody Anno. Stop by and visit with Cody to make your game plan to help protect the people and things you value most. Learn more at codyismyagent.com or call 785-594-0270 to set up a meeting with Cody Anno at State Farm Insurance.
That's Jake Richards getting right in the lap of Ethan Williams to almost just take that ball out of the hand of Williams. Coach Bob Lisher getting Williams a chance to throw the ball last couple of snaps now, and why not? See what he can do against, it's a tough spot to be in because you have a Wellsville defense right now that they're just pinning their ears back coming after you off those edges. You've seen David Sines in that backfield. Now you see Jake Richards coming off the edge. So they are just coming after him right now, making life awfully tough for the young man, but he's still standing strong in there and trying to make a play.
Yeah, most of the starters still out there for Wellsville. This time, Cody Buck on the handoff gets hit hard. Dropped almost immediately. Not much of a gain there. Sets up a third down and 10. Just not able to get much going here offensively.
Wellsville has just the one shutout this year. I say just the one, like it's it's so good this year, only averaging 9 points a game against them, but just one shutout. So, they probably have that in their mind right now, trying to put together a second shutout here as well.
Once again, they'll hand it to Buck. He's going to try the left side this time, breaks a couple of tackles and another one, and he rumbles out past the yard to gain. Got a first down on about a 12-yard gain. Nice hard, tough running that time from Cody Buck.
Now all 12 really coming on yards after contact there. Buck is not a big guy. He only checks in about 5'8", 155 pounds, but he's deceptively hard to tackle, not just because of his quickness, but even if you have him in your grasp, he does not go down easy.
Yeah. He's slithery, as I like to say. He just seems to slither through those holes and break a couple tackles, and then before you know it, he's off to the races. I'd like to see one of those big runs being broke off here. Baldwin's got a 1st and 10, though, after picking up their first down of the second half. They'll give it right back to Cody Buck, and he rumbles through the mid of that offensive line up for a 6-yard gain. Baldwin's starting to get a little bit going on the ground here.
I mean, this is twice as many yards already on this drive as they have had in the last 6 offensive drives combined. So they finally get a little going again here, and let's see if they can go down and get some points. And again, at this point in time, you're looking for small victories, right? I mean, you're not going to overcome 42 points in a quarter. That's not going to happen. But now let's see if we can get something on the board, punch one in, and take that pride of the shutout away from this Wellsville defense.
So 18 seconds and counting here in the third quarter. They'll hand it off again to Buck. He's been hot these last couple carries and now still running hard. Gets it out to the 47-yard line and another Bulldog first down. If it's working, why stop? And that is going to do it for the third quarter here. Let's take a break, come right back with the fourth here on Baldwin Sports Live, presented by Hayden Outdoors.
When choosing a bank, wouldn't you prefer doing business with a local institution with years of commitment to our community? That's Baldwin State Bank. For more than 100 years, we've been providing products and services specifically tailored to our friends in Baldwin City. Whether it's a free checking account, savings for retirement, or your next loan, we'll be here. Because our roots are here. Baldwin State Bank, proud supporter of the Baldwin Bulldogs. Come see us downtown or online at baldwinstatebank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
With Heartland Plumbing, you get full-service plumbing from a real plumber, not a sales guy who's just there to fix a leak. Heartland Plumbing sets appointments they hold true to, not an inconvenient block of time they might be there. With a strong reputation and years of quality service, Heartland Plumbing has the tools and the people to get your plumbing job done on time the first time. Give them a call at 913-856-5846. Serving every big town and small town around, residential and commercial. That's Heartland Plumbing, the plumber you can open your door to.
Back here in Baldwin, start of the fourth quarter as Ethan Williams fakes the handoff and gets dropped immediately in the backfield by David Sines. 6-foot senior for the Eagles was in the backfield before Williams knew what he could do.
Adding to that tally of tackles for loss, he has twice as many tackles for loss as anybody else on this Wellsville defense, and another one there.
Be interesting to see if this fourth quarter we see any of the substitutes getting worked in there for Wellsville. Certainly for Baldwin you don't want any injuries, but especially Wellsville heading into the playoffs next week. You would like to come away completely healthy from this game with it already obviously in hand.
Yeah, I think offensively we'll probably see some changes, but defensively I have a feeling they want to make sure that shutout stays intact.
Really want the shutout, huh?
And they're out there with that defense trying to keep it that way.
Third down, 14 yards to go for VHS.
Williams brings the play call in from the sideline. Coach Lisher in just his second year with the Bulldogs. And it looks like they're going to take a timeout here. Gives me an opportunity to tell you about Rice Precision Manufacturing. Baldwin Sports Live is brought to you in part by Rice Precision Manufacturing, a family-owned company in Baldwin City that services many different industries, from food processing to heavy and light industrial, oil and gas, and many more. With state-of-the-art machine tools and a great work environment that offers excellent pay and competitive benefits, it's the perfect place to start your next career. Find out more by emailing jobs@riceprecision.com. So first timeout taken by Baldwin. 42-0, they trail it. Looking a little bit better on this drive so far, but got themselves into a third and very long here, 3rd and 14. Where do you go now, Bryce?
Well, there's not a lot of options because you don't have time. That's the problem right now. You'd like to say throw the ball. I would go with a screen, something quick out into the flats maybe.
Williams will drop back, and there is your screen pass to Cody Buck. Got some linemen out in front, and Cody's going to almost break a tackle and get to the line to gain. It looks like he's going to get a pretty favorable spot from the line judge. Thank you very much. We'll take the first down.
So there you go, the screen. And Bob Lisher, the head coach of the Bulldogs, thinking along the same line as I was because that pass rush is just coming so fast and furious. You don't have time to throw anything down the field. So take advantage of their aggressiveness to get up the field by giving them the overlay and then getting those linemen out in front of your running back to make a play, and they get 14 on that one. Nice call.
That was a nice job by a couple of those offensive linemen getting out there and blocking out in front of Cody, allowing him to get that first down. Williams will hand it off once again. Cody Buck, he's looking lively now, out across the 40, down to about the 38, 37-yard line. So steadily moving the ball on the ground and through the air with Cody Buck.
Yeah, he's been a nice guy on this drive for him, the 14-yard reception, and then he's also now carried it 5 times on this drive for 31 yards on those 5 carries. So he has been a nice little spark this drive so far.
Just a junior, Cody, 5'8", 155 pounds. He'll be back next year. He's had a big, I don't know if I should call it a breakout year, but he's had a great year, both offensively and defensively. He's made some plays on the defensive side of the ball as well, and here he is again, bursting through the right side of the offensive line, gets it out to just shy of the 30-yard line. Another Bulldog first down.
I mean, I think about a breakout year is fine to say. I mean, he had 133 yards total last year, or 163 last year, and then in his first game of this year, he almost matched that tally with 133 alone in that game, and then backed that up with 142 in the next one. So he's had a really nice year and has really become a nice weapon out of his backfield, and he and Jack Harvey, 2 juniors that are going to make a pretty lethal backfield next year.
Agreed. Remember, Cody didn't start playing until I think that 3rd game of the year. He missed the first couple, and that ball's put on the ground. Bad exchange between Williams and Darnell. Williams is going to get hit hard and punished for that.
Yeah, punished for it. It's a good way to put it. You know, how many times has Ethan Williams and Sam Darnell run the jet sweep? Probably not a bunch. You know, that's not a. I doubt there's been many reps with those two on that mesh. Jack Harvey and Sam Darnell, plenty of reps, not so much Ethan Williams and Darnell, so just a little bit of timing off there, but at least they didn't turn the ball over.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those games, though, where you can earn a lot of respect from your teammates, though. This is coming from a career backup quarterback here. Come in and you take a couple shots, make a couple plays, and then, you know, just being a freshman, looking to the future a little bit, as Buck's going to be dropped for a loss that time in the backfield. But Ethan Williams, he can come out and try to impress not only his teammates, but maybe some fans and the coaching staff.
Yeah, and that's what we've seen from him so far this year, is a willingness to come in there when they've asked him to and not be afraid to make a play, not be afraid to tuck it and run, lower his shoulder and get in there. And I think they're certainly happy with what they've seen from Ethan here in his freshman season. But they, no disrespect to Ethan, they hope to not see him on the field much again next year because that's at the expense of Harvey, at least not at the quarterback position.
Once again, Cody Buck gets dropped hard. It's Joseph Stites, the junior. Wellsville not slowing the motor down at all. They're still hitting hard. He's up 4th down and just under a mile now for Baldwin. 6:35 and counting.
Yeah, now this is, again, a really tough spot. I mean, it's a long way to go for a screenplay, but you haven't shown that you're going to have any time to be able to even let receivers get far enough downfield, so maybe more of a wide receiver screen this time.
Ethan's going to roll right this time, look deep. He's going to throw it deep, and that ball is going to be intercepted. Bringing it near side is Calvin Dwyer. The junior defensive back for the Eagles. And an interception thrown that time from Ethan Williams, but you can't blame him too much trying to make something happen, make a play on a 4th and 19.
Yeah,
Not a lot you can do there.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, that's just like a punt, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to get just put the ball out, give yourself a chance. They roll him out to buy us some extra time. I like the decision there. That's what you have to do in that situation. And, yeah, just throw the ball out, give yourself a chance to make a play. Darnell was down there, but Dwyer able to make the play on it, and they keep that streak going now for Wellsville. 12 straight games going back to last year that this defense has come up with an interception. 19 straight overall that they forced a turnover.
That's pretty impressive, yeah. Baldwin Sports Live is brought to you in part by The Bullpen. Check out Wildcat Wednesday specials. Enjoy karaoke Thursdays, live entertainment on many Friday and Saturday nights, and, of course, Sunday football on every TV. Check them out on Facebook at Bullpen Baldwin City. Open Monday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. and Sundays 10 to 8. Your locally owned sports bar with the classic ballpark food in downtown Baldwin City.
Geist got rolled up a little awkwardly, it looked like that time, and Davidson made a nice tackle. And good news was Geist was able to get back up. He's kind of stretching out that right ankle or right calf a little bit, it looks like, but he's still in there, so that's a good sign as it looked a little awkward.
And so it looks like both teams kind of rotating some of the players. Number 3, John Francis, a sophomore, is out there, near side corner for Baldwin. Give it off. This time left side. Nice run that time. That was number 22, Matt Newhouse, a sophomore running back. Showed off some nice jets around the left side that time.
Newhouse picks up 15, and like I expected to see the second unit offense in there for Wellsville at this point. And in an ideal world for Wellsville, they're going to hope to just run this last 4 minutes off the clock so they get, the shutout, and they don't have to bring that defense back out here.
Looking past this time, he's going to be dropped hard in the backfield. Davidson came in and finished him off, but Van Horn was there first.
Yeah, that's teaming up for the sack and saying, welcome into the ball game, Micah Holmes.
Yeah.
We've talked about the young man, Ethan Williams, coming in and quarterbacking for Baldwin. Now Holmes in there doing the quarterbacking for Wellsville. Willie Dorsey's back up, and the sophomore gets greeted a little rudely there by I will say a little angry defense probably for Baldwin after the way the night has gone.
Still playing hard, though. That's what I like to see.
Absolutely.
His handoff is going to go to Landon Geist, the 5'11 sophomore. Carried it 13 times coming into play for 38 yards. And for some mop-up duty here.
Yeah, they don't have to spell Nash money very often.
No.
It's pretty much money's game every time. He gets almost all the carries exclusively outside of maybe a few jet sweeps here and there, or some quarterback runs from Dorsey. And so they don't have to go very deep into their running back depth chart, but Geist getting a chance to tote the rock a couple of times here late in this one.
Play clock running down here on this play with 5 seconds down. Ticking, see if they can get this one off. They do with 1 second. Give it back to Geist, and he's going to run hard, get some tough yardage, and drag a couple of Bulldogs close to the first down marker.
Well, he's not close to the first down. He's close to the original line of scrimmage, but they still got 10 to go to get to the first.
So that'll bring up 4th down and 10. It's getting late for everybody, Bryce.
That's right. Well, now there's an injured player for Wellsville, one of the backup linemen, Carter Lingle, shaking up on that play.
You can find our upcoming broadcast schedule in the Baldwin City Community Newspaper, your local weekly newspaper with the latest news, opinions, sports, ads, and more. Subscribe for just $5 a month and stay up to date with the latest local news from the Baldwin City Community Newspaper. Stop by downtown at the Nook, 703 8th Street to subscribe. Local weekly newspaper, just $5 a month. See, there are
game next Friday night.
Yep.
Don't know the opponent for sure. I believe it'll be the winner of the Royal Valley Perry Lecompton game, which is happening tonight as well. Don't know that for a fact, so don't go and make plans and write that one in stone.
I heard Kessler say that on the radio.
Yeah, but I believe that is what the matchup will be. I don't know where, so we'll have to wait to learn that.
Looks like they're going to wind this clock down as far as they can. 6 on the play clock when they snap it. First punt of the game for Wellsville. Send Capel, and he'll just let it bounce. That's Cody Buck back there, excuse me. Let's take a heck of a Wellsville bounce down to right around the 5-yard line is where Baldwin's going to start this possession. They're going to have to hurry a little bit, though. 1:15 and ticking on this continuous clock. 42-0 the score as Wellsville has marched in here and really controlled this game start to finish here.
Yeah, so you've got maybe 2 plays, 3 plays max for Baldwin to get that goose egg off the score, and you only got to go 94 yards.
Give me a hook and ladder, please. Come on.
Second team defense is in there now for Wellsville, so perhaps an opportunity for Baldwin to strike here.
Ethan Williams takes the snap, gives it off. This time it is going to be, I believe, Vance Morgan getting the handoff. That's nice to see the senior getting a touch here on senior night. Hasn't obviously gone the way Baldwin would have hoped, but nice contributions over the course of their career from a number of seniors on this team, including Wesley Martin, Sam Darnell. I know I'm going to leave out a ton of guys here, but I mean, just couldn't ask for more from this group of seniors.
Now, Jaden Michael, Jonathan Wren, the other guys on that senior class, along with the ones you mentioned, and they got one more game. This was their senior night here, because we don't know next week whether it'll be home or away, but they'll have one more chance to strap up the purple and put on those Bulldog jerseys and helmets one more time next Friday night and try and end it on a victory. But tonight, it just did not go the way for the Bulldogs here, but take a cap off to Wellsville. That was an impressive team that took advantage of some of the fortunate breaks that were handed their way in this game, and they rolled with them to a big victory.
All right, we'll take a quick break here on Baldwin Sports Live and be back with the postgame show. Wellsville dominating this one 42-0 here at Liston Stadium. You're watching Bulldog football on Baldwin Sports Live, presented by Hayden Outdoors.
Incorporated in Spring Hill is your area's premier small engine repair shop. Before you replace that faulty trimmer or mower, let our experts get you back to work. And if you are in the market for a new handheld, we carry Maruyama and Red Max trimmers. Plus, hers is still the best place for hydraulic hoses, cylinder repair, and mechanical control cables. If that's not enough, we're also a UPS drop-off location. To learn more, visit us at hersinc.net, call 913-247-3530, or just stop on by.
State Farm Insurance Agent Cody Anno is ready to be there for you every step of the way. From starting policies out to the day disaster strikes, Cody and his team are ready to help. Cody strives to be different, doing things the other people don't and other agencies won't, helping more people in more ways. That's Cody Anno State Farm. Call 785-594-0270 or stop by at 208 Baker Street for a cup of coffee and a free quote for your auto, home, or life insurance with Cody Anno, your local State Farm insurance agent in Baldwin City.
Welcome back here on Baldwin Sports Live. This is the Baldwin Sports Live post-game show. Bring you the player of the game here in a second on a game that Wellsville really dominated front to end, 42-0 the final score here. The player of the game is brought to you by Farm Bureau Financial Services. From insurance to investments, wealth management, and financial planning, Farm Bureau Financial Services is there to help you protect what matters most. Call today and set up a meeting with your local Farm Bureau team at 785-594-1055. That's 785-594-1055. It's your future. Let's protect it.
We talked about these three gentlemen, and I'm going Davidson, Williams, Van Horn.
Yeah.
That combo on that D-line is our player of the game tonight. I thought they continued to play very hard throughout this game when things weren't going well for them. They continued to make plays on that defensive line. Davidson batted a couple of passes down, got a big sack at the end. We mentioned the Williams play where he was on the pass rush, then got off that, got 14 yards downfield to make a tackle on a receiver. Van Horn, we've called his name so many times all year long. Those three guys, sometimes the linemen go a little unnoticed. Those three have not gone unnoticed. They play very well this year, and I thought they did a great job again here tonight on what was a tough night against a very good opponent. And so I don't want to I can't really single out one of the three because I thought they work so well as a unit. So we're going with all three of them: Brett Davidson, Dylan Williams, and Jake Van Horn, the three-man defensive line on this 3-4 defense for the Bulldogs as our players of the game tonight, brought to you by Farm Bureau Financial Services.
I think that's a great pick. Those three have been great all year, offensively and defensively on that line. So good to you for picking them, and good to them for getting it done. We'll be right back here on the Baldwin Sports Live post-game show. We're going to take a quick break, come back and check some of the numbers and look at some of the key plays in this one. You've been watching Bulldog football on Baldwin Sports Live, presented by Hayden Outdoors.
Hayden Outdoors Real Estate has proudly been serving the Midwest since 1976, covering 29 states and over $1.3 billion in annual sales. Chad and Penny Sheldon are some of the top producing brokers from Baldwin City, Kansas, selling farms, ranches, rural homes, and recreational real estate throughout Kansas. Their knowledge, passion, and expertise will help make your next real estate transaction an excellent experience. Contact Chad or Penny today by phone at 785-821-2666 or by email at shad@haydenoutdoors.com.
When choosing a bank, wouldn't you prefer doing business with a local institution with years of commitment to our community? That's Baldwin State Bank. For more than 100 years, we've been providing products and services specifically tailored to our friends in Baldwin City. Whether it's a free checking account, savings for retirement, or your next loan, we'll be here. Because our roots are here. Baldwin State Bank, proud supporter of the Baldwin Bulldogs. Come see us downtown or online at baldwinstatebank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back into Liston Stadium, the Baldwin Sports Live postgame show. Time to check some of the numbers from this one, brought to you by New Frontier Tax and Business Services at 608 High Street in Baldwin City, where they want to remind you that it's never too early to start thinking about tax season. Call for helpful tips on how to best prepare and learn about upcoming changes to maximize your return. Timely, accurate, and reliable services at an affordable cost to help your business grow and succeed. Visit newfrontiertbs.com or call 785-594-1204 to learn more.
380 yards of offense in this game for Wellsville, 160 rushing, 220 passing. Another very balanced attack from them. 3 rushing touchdowns from Nash Money, another rushing score from Des Winton, a running score from Willie Dorsey, and he also threw a touchdown to Kyle Fouts in this game. The Bulldogs had just 113 yards of offense. 59 came on the opening drive when they marched it down inside the 10-yard line of Wellsville, but that was pretty much the end of the success offensively for the Bulldogs, as they were not able to get anything else going until very late in this game. In this fourth quarter, they put together a 39-yard drive before a possession-ending interception, but just 113 yards tonight, 66 rushing, 47 through the air for the Bulldogs. Time of possession, Bulldogs won by 5.5 minutes or so in that category, but a couple of turnovers as well. One, the late interception, a fumble. That wasn't really the impact of the game, though. It was some injuries and some early big plays that Wellsville hit to take that early lead, as Dorsey finishes 13 of 19 for 220 and a touchdown, added 23 on the ground with a score. Nash Money comes up just 3 yards short of his 19th career 100-yard game. 16 carries, 97 yards, and 3 touchdowns. And through the air, the top target was Kyle Fouts. Big game from him. 5 catches, 76 yards, and a touchdown. Brody Lee hauled in 4 grabs for 70 tonight as well. Desmond Winton, 2 catches for 54, 1 carry for 24 and a touchdown. 2 grabs for 20 yards for the tight end, David Signs. For Baldwin, it was Jack Harvey complete, just 4 of 7 in that first half before the injury knocked him out of this game. And then 2 out of 6 for Ethan Williams in replacing him. Harvey, 7 carries, 10 yards in this game. Williams, 5 for -9. Cody Buck, 13 for 51, led the team in rushing. And Vance Morgan, 5 carries for 14 yards. Sam Darnell, 4 catches, 36 yards. And Cody Buck had the other 2 grabs for 11 yards in this game as Wellsville wins at 42-0.
Give you one last look here at some of our upcoming broadcasts. Pretty simple. Only one more in our fall schedule here. It's next Friday, October 28th. Our last football game. Not sure quite who that is going to be, but 6:40 pregame, just like usual. 7 o'clock kickoff. We'll keep you updated, of course, if that's going to be on the road or here at home. But still one more game guaranteed. Baldwin didn't do enough to get into the playoffs, but we'll still have a Week 9 game against someone. But that is going to wrap things up here from Liston Stadium tonight on a senior night that went a little sour. Wellsville, the winners tonight, 42-0 from Baldwin. For Bryce Kessler, I'm Ryan Hilmer. This has been Bulldog Football on Baldwin Sports Live, presented by Hayden Outdoors.
You've been watching Baldwin Sports Live, presented by Hayden Outdoors Real Estate, the brand that sells the land. Learn more at HaydenOutdoors.com. Baldwin Sports Live also brought to you by Farm Bureau Financial Services, Kelly Neufeld, Baldwin State Bank, Codiano State Farm Insurance, Heartland Plumbing, Lamb Roberts Price Funeral Home, One Choice Heating and Air Conditioning, Trindle Lumber Company, Oral Surgery Kansas, Hers Incorporated, Rice Precision Manufacturing, The Bullpen, Baldwin City Recreation Commission, New Frontier Tax and Business Services, the Lumberyard Arts Center, Jobats, Baldwin City Community Newspaper, and by the Baldwin City Chamber of Commerce. This is Baldwin Sports Live.